true, cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, cause that's who I am.
Saturday morning sports talk with Kevin, Chip, Tom, Terry, and JP, as always, bringing McDonald's breakfast from McDonald's of Cherryville for the guys. What'd y'all have this fine, rainy Saturday morning?
Good morning, JP.
Good morning.
Kevin Hastings, Chip, and Terry, and Tom. I got a egg and cheese biscuit and a strawberry smoothie. Chip.
I'm about to tear into my sausage and egg biscuit.
Terry.
I had a sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin with a hash brown.
And Tommy.
I had a bacon, egg, and cheese McMuffin, hash brown, and small coffee.
And JP, what have you not ate yet?
I'm about to eat my egg and cheese biscuit with a round
JP likes to sit around. He's like a snake, and he lets the mouse run around the cage for a couple hours before he eats it. He don't eat it when he gets in there.
I have no room to talk here, so
You just got here. He's had it for 25 minutes staring at it like it's gonna. I don't know what it's gonna do in there. Good morning, everyone.
Well, Chip's one of those that comes in the last second. Can you imagine him working for me? My Lord, I'd be like, Chip, get here on time, buddy.
He's leaving early
And
today,
then
Chip.
Tom, and then Tom, he's over
leaving
here
early.
acting like he's important, texting everybody in the world.
He's leaving. Actually, we're texting Calvin. I just want to tell all our listeners we're going to have a big Southern Piedmont basketball game next week as Shelby comes to visit Burns. So tune in on WOHS next week. Shelby at Burns basketball. And Kevin may have something Wednesday too. So check your local listings for basketball coverage. Chip does the WCSL Cherryville games this year. So tune in. You can listen on the radio. So if you had to know that was a work-related, see, that's the thing, work. That's a word that's not in your vocabulary, work. Every once in a while, people have to work, Terry, not show up to school and look up Notre Dame memes and send them to Tom's text messages when he's trying to get his AP government lesson. You know, like at Burns, we're trying to get kids into Carolina and Duke and
I don't understand you, though,
We're
Tom.
trying.
Reply back.
We're trying to do a.
So that means you're doing nothing.
I don't reply back. I don't. I don't reply back until I have one.
This is why I come to hear them too.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Some people go and work, and some people are just there. Some people are, you ever heard the phrase charity case? You're a charity case at West Lincoln. They just give you a job so you're not on the street.
Do they have like open rooms they just stick you in, Tom? Or do you have the same room every day?
I have the same room every day.
Oh, okay.
I've had the same room for 19 years, Terry.
I was just wondering if they was moving
Terry,
you
I'm
around.
an
over.
institution. Do you understand that?
They call me a university.
That's the quickest way to end up on the streets, Tom. Is say that. God.
Took us all 3 minutes for them to get started. This is awesome.
I'm an institution, Terry. Do you hear this?
Don't you realize what I am?
Yeah, it says, I was at Burns yesterday to present a student athlete award, and one of his collegians described Tom as a grumpy old man.
I am. Yeah. I am a grumpy old.
See, there are people even know you, Tom.
They must watch the show.
Grumpy old man. That's accurate, but I'm a grumpy old man that works. That's the difference.
Well, good morning, everybody. We got a big show ahead of us. We got NFL, NBA, NFL playoffs, NBA, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We're gonna, if you listen to the show online on the radio, you can watch us online. We are live on YouTube every Saturday. KDC Broadcasting YouTube channel. Right now, we're watching some snow drifting this week, and the horse knew the assignment there, guys. Is that that's a NASCAR horse, Terry?
I can see the words, the text at the bottom. I like the song going along with it right now.
Well, yeah, they checking out this little Amish horse and buggy, having fun in the snow. Terry, if that's your truck, I thought this might be you, but I checked on the ID and it wasn't.
Yeah, it was not. Yeah, I'm still left without a truck for a while.
That's a Ross Chastain fan too.
That's what happens. You just working on Saturdays would be enough to make a truck payment, but you're just too cheap to buy another truck. So you just wait 6
Tom,
months for you to get
all
a
of
used
my
engine for your truck.
tires that I put in this thing has bought this engine. How's that? Yeah,
That's a good point.
you know.
You got to, Chip. I know tires are expensive, but you got to go through a lot of tires. Use $6,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I've been through 6 sets.
Especially those are like
Think of-
cheapy 15-inch tires from 25 years ago. They don't even really use those anymore. They're
Well,
cheap- they're
I
super
thought they
cheap.
didn't use the motor anymore too. I had to order that thing.
I tell you, man.
Off of eBay.
Yeah, I called Mike Johnson. They said, "Oh no, we don't have that motor."
they didn't have a camera they could put on that thing in
Yeah.
that thing.
I was like, "My
How
God."
many, Kevin? How many local auto, sales groups advertise with KTC Broadcasting, and Terry can't go get him a new car? That's what I'm
It's been a long
saying.
time.
Well, I've been looking
So, like,
for another one has free tires in it, Tom.
He ain't found that deal yet. So we talked a little bit about the the things going on in Western North Carolina and the fires and stuff and the money a little bit, and how it was appropriated a little bit to a lot to California as opposed to home, and people in here in Western North Carolina still having issues. But like for the folks in California, don't worry. The local sports teams have pitched in to save them. Terry,
So one group.
watch this. Watch this. Hold on. 12 teams have come together of the big sports league. Chargers and Angels and Dodgers and Kings and Lakers have come together and pooled their money, and they've come together for $8 million.
Wait a minute. Now wait a minute. Say that again. Say that one more time, and I'm going to hit back on this. Say this again.
12 Los Angeles sports teams have pooled their money and donated to the cause, not North Carolina, the California cause, a grand total of $8 million.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. Here is the deal. There is one individual in the NBA, and his wife gave $15 million for this.
Forget that. The fourth team or the fifth team logo on that list. Or I'm sorry, I'm thinking of it. But
The Dodgers.
Yeah.
Just say the Dodgers.
yeah, how much? Their team payroll, all of them.
Yeah, think of that.
The Angels
are they-
payroll.
Yeah.
How much are
The
they
Lake.
paying?
How many people are sitting on the Lakers bench getting paid more than $8 million a year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what gets me. They paid $8 million amongst all of them.
Of all
people.
12 added together.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
And one individual and his wife gave $15 million.
You got Mark Madsen sitting at the end of the Lakers bench, could give 2/3 of his annual salary and match that.
I'm just telling you
My
the
Lord.
the greed in this country.
Oh, and they
This
spread
is
it. Hold on,
crazy.
they spread it out amongst 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different groups, maybe 8 different groups. So I guess they all got $1 million.
It's just so. It's just, and when you watch TV, it's like, oh, this is Mel Gibson's house that burned down. I mean, like, that's all you see. That's why everybody thinks it's like, oh, it's just celebrities that were impacted. It was regular people that are impacted.
It was.
Yeah, I mean, and those regular people are the ones that need help, just like the ones in Western North Carolina. But you know why Asheville didn't get as much? There's not as many celebrities that live there, Terry.
That's true.
And think about
Yeah,
the thing about Asheville, Tom, and whatever it is, you pay $10 million. The $8 million right there could have. Think about what that could have done in Asheville.
In Asheville. Yeah.
$8 million. How many campers and fire and warm things
No,
could
and
could $8 million buy? But we're going to donate
how much,
that.
How
to,
much did the Tepper Group give to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, what did
yeah.
what did the Hornets give? Did they? I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know.
I don't either.
I mean, it'd be a good.
There's
it'd
not
be
a lot
good
of
comparison.
There's not a lot of affinity for his group with Charlotte, much less North Carolina or the Carolinas as a whole. I mean,
I just don't understand the greed of people. Like, how could you pay? What was their last contract? Gosh, Otani's contract. How much money is that man being paid? $400 million or something?
Right.
You can't give any money. I'm not saying go rebuild Mel Gibson's house. I'm saying
No, I don't.
I'm saying go rebuild, because $8 million ain't even enough to rebuild one of those houses in Malibu. It's like, what about all the common people who? Well, I worked at a restaurant. The restaurant burned down. What now?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people that are affected like that. Same thing in Asheville. If you go, the tourism industry in Chimney Rock gets washed
Yeah.
out. What about those regular people?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
all we look at, look at this celebrity's house. Who cares? They'll rebuild it.
So, Yeah, there was one celebrity complaining about someone had about them raising rent from $18,000 to $30,000 a month because of the fires.
Yeah, they were.
Terry,
Yeah.
they were complaining because they had to move into a house and they had agreed $18,000 last week, and then the fire happened, and then now the homeowner wants $30,000 a month, and instead of just. And then we got people living in tents over here, and they're complaining about $30,000.
But the thing is too that the regular people, that's
Yeah,
the regular people out there, like they were going to rent a house for $2,000 a month. Now it's $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
Yep.
Doing,
Which 2,000 was a stretch anyway.
Well, FEMA's not giving them more than like one day at a time up there, so they have to leave the hotels, wait on the emails and texts, so they can come back into the hotels and come back in, and that's just not right. All right, do what you can for you folks here in West North Carolina that can hear us. Get up there and help somebody. Also, this week, sad news. Bob Uecker, great announcer in sports and baseball, passed away this week. And I got some sound bites and stuff. And Tom, did you know that he ad-libbed the Major League role, and he never watched one of those movies?
I didn't know he didn't watch one of them, but I know that he ad-lib because that's what he did.
Yeah.
That's just what he did. As an announcer, those are like some of the guys you think of that, man, I wish I could be as good as that guy, Bob Uecker. I mean, he was really a national treasure.
He
really
was an institution.
Yeah.
He was an institution.
Yeah. Here's his last call this year against the Mets. He was still doing broadcasting games. He's a Brewers announcer,
90
not an Indians announcer for the folks that haven't got out since watching that movie. But yeah, he is the Brewers announcer.
Well, New York down. They did it. And the crew will have it end here tonight.
Really a crushing end to what was a fabulous season for the Milwaukee Brewers.
I'm telling you, that one had some sting on it. Milwaukee Brewers baseball has been brought to you.
And that was his last words and thoughts there on the Brewers broadcast. I do have some more. Let's see.
I agree with Tom on that. He is he's the standard bearer for all of us here. I mean, any of us who do a game at KTC and again, obviously former player, probably one of the most hilarious Hall of Fame speeches ever given. If you've never had a chance to listen to his Hall of Fame speech, you it's a treat. And just he has the entire hall just rolling for 12 minutes. He didn't have a video game, but is it fair? I thought about this, and nobody made this comparison. Is it fair? Maybe he's the John Madden of baseball.
He didn't get to be on the national broadcast.
Correct. That's why, because he's not national. Like if he was like Joe Buck or somebody in all the national.
But
here's him talking about Hank Aaron.
Series games.
Yeah.
Hank and I had a great relationship, and we still do. He's really one of my very, very good friends. And I tried to, little things that I did better than Hank. I wasn't one of those guys, Jane, that would say, hey, I'm going to keep this a secret, I'd go up and tell people like Henry, Eddie Matthews, Warren Spahn. I mean, those types of people. I would give them tips, and it worked for Hank.
Well, he and I would often talk on the bus, and he said, Hank, if you could only knew how to hit the curveball, if you could just sit back and wait for the fastball. He said, I could teach you all these things, but you won't listen to me. And I'm glad that I didn't.
I taught him how to hit the curveball. And, well, you know the story with Hank. I mean, he's gone on to bigger and better things.
So there's some Bob Uecker about Hank Aaron. How about, let's see. This is going to be hard for somebody, but for a lot of y'all. Do you remember the Bird, Mark the Bird Fidrich, Terry?
Yes.
Or Tom,
Yes.
do you remember him?
I don't think I do.
He was rumored to throw like 110 miles per hour or something like that, and he ended up with here he is with the Tigers after throwing a complete game against the Yankees. I haven't listened to this at all, so I'm going to listen. We'll listen to a little bit of it. But the Mark the Bird, he's a nut too, so he might not.
Mark, I've never seen anything like this in my life tonight, and I know it's a very emotional moment for you. Hell yeah. I mean, 48,000 people coming out to see Detroit pitch. I said we couldn't have gave them a better show, you know. Were you ever worried about the Yankees tonight? I know we talked to you earlier. You said, well, you weren't worried about the Yankee ball club. It doesn't look like you ever worried about anybody. Well, I don't know. Everything's just new to me, so I just coming out as hard as I can come out at people. And then I have the D. Those guys are doing 2/3 the work, and I'm only doing 1/3 by pitching, you know? They got me to runs and all that other stuff, and the people come out and draw it and get my adrenaline flowing. What can I ask? I couldn't ask for no much more. You know, in the ninth inning...
I think he was high.
Just a smidge.
I love the Euchre joke. He says that guy came up in the bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, 2 outs. I looked in the opposing dugout, and the other team was already in street clothes.
Yeah, he was self-deprecating.
Yeah, very self-deprecating.
Yeah.
The biggest thrill here's a quote. The biggest thrill ball player can have is when your son takes after you. That happened when my boy Bobby was in his championship Little League game. He struck out 3 times and made an error and lost the game. Parents were yelling and cussing at us, but gosh, I was proud. we did talk about some of the
because it was always easy for you.
Oh no, that's not. I thought that was the Miller Lite ones.
You know, he's one of them guys that he only batted 200 for his career.
Coming up in the ninth inning of a ball game, bases loaded, 2 outs, down by a run, and to look in the visitors' dugout and see them sitting there with their street clothes on. I've had incidents happen where I'd come home maybe a 0 for June, 0 for July, and I'll never forget what my dad used to tell me. Why don't you get a job? But these are little things that never bothered me. Maybe to look down at the third base coach for a sign, have him turn his back on you. Or maybe the catcher, instead of putting a sign down, just hollering out and telling the pitcher what to throw. But I think these are the things that really drove me on. You know, I can remember ordering bats. Sometimes they'd come back with a handle at each end. These are things that never discouraged me. I've had people ask me a lot of times, Bob, how long will a dozen bats last you? I would have to say, depending on what model, what weight of bat I was using, 8 to 10 cookouts. But you know, when you're recognized as a hitting star the way I was, it gets aggravating a lot of times to maybe walk down the street. I've had it happen in New York City, walking down the street with my catcher's equipment on. And people asked me if I was a ball player, recognizing me right away. But these are things, as I said, that drove me on. A lot of awards for hitting. And I think any youngster can have these same awards if you're willing to make a few sacrifices and to pay a price. And some of the bigger awards I have cost me well over $100 each. What an outstanding ball game here tonight. The Yankees against the Tigers, and now back to you.
Golly, so good. Oh, so good.
Doesn't crack himself up, though.
Yeah,
He doesn't crack himself up. Yeah. He just goes right through the joke. But my brother's favorite line from Major League was, and Indians no runs on 1 hit. 1 hit. Is that all we got was 1 expletive hit? And then he goes, you can't say that on the radio. He says, nobody's listening. That's one of my favorite lines from that movie. But, rest in peace, Bobby.
10-7, bases loaded, 2 down, and Rick Vaughn has come on to try and nail it down against Felipe Aguilar, a dangerous right-handed batter. Here's the pitch. Vaughn into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
That's probably his most famous from everything.
I might use that today.
Just a bit outside.
I might use that today during basketball.
Ball 4. Ball 8. Low, and Vaughn has walked the bases loaded on 12 straight pitches. Boy, how can these guys lay off pitches that close? Hello again, everybody. Harry Doyle here, welcoming all you friends of the Feather to another season of Indians baseball. A lot of new faces in Chief Wahoo's tribe this year as they take on the defending American League champs, the New York Yankees. And hopefully we'll have some of the names that go with those faces before their first at-bat. Anyway, listen to the roar of the crowd as the Indians take the field.
You just don't get movies
sir,
like
they
this
love
anymore.
this club here in Cleveland.
There's no more comedy.
Just a reminder,
There's no more rock and roll. These kids quit it all.
Coming up here at the stadium.
Tell Anna and
Free
Jake
admission
it's
to
their
anyone
fault.
who was actually alive the last time the Indians won a pennant.
One of the other ones he goes in. Vaughn delivers a fastball and such and such hits it somewhere towards South America.
What's the
like little lines? Like
what's the one in the sequel I like when he sees a little? There we go. Here it
Hello,
is.
Tribe fans. Welcome back to Major League Baseball. Sort of. Paid attendance today is 1,412. Some of them were driven away by that little 10-run first inning the Red Sox put up.
Take over, Monty.
Take over, Monty. I'm in the bag.
Me? Fly ball. Caught.
It's actually pretty good.
Very textbook.
I know exactly what happened on the play. One of the best ones is I don't know if you've seen the Tonight Show interviews with Johnny Carson. That's pretty good. He had Carson laughing.
I didn't
pretty
realize
good.
Carson had him on the show. It was
All
one of his
the time.
favorite over 100 times.
All the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Any more news and notes, guys?
Yeah, one other thing in NASCAR, you know, Fred Lorenzo passed away too, about a week or so ago. One thing, he was 2 times champion in NASCAR, but he was the first guy ever in NASCAR to earn more than $100,000.
Did you see the real quick while since you mentioned that, we'll take 2 minutes on it. Did you see where they're having a sponsor's exemption for the Daytona 500 for a driver?
I think I've seen this.
Helio Castroneves.
Yeah, but you also seen another one that they're having also. One driver can't even race in the race.
I don't know about that.
Mike Wallace.
I don't know the situation on that one. I do know that Jimmy Johnson, 7-time champion and champion of the Daytona 500, has to qualify and could not be in the race. But Helio Castroneves, who's never raced a second in NASCAR, Terry, is getting a sponsor's exemption so they can show him on TV and cross and Fox can cross.
Oh yeah,
cross advertise.
I got a problem with that.
So and the people would post it online or whatever, like, hey, I'm going to interview Johnson something the other day. You got any questions for him? And I responded. Of course, they responded back to me. Please ask him why NASCAR blackballed him once he won his 7th championship, kicked him out, and why they treat him like they do now and act like he doesn't exist. Didn't get a response off of it, and I'm guessing they didn't ask him that. Yeah. But Terry, like, he won that championship, and they're like, you're out the door, and it was all gone. It's just they don't even act like he's even there. Like, and you say whatever you want, however they're pushing the new guys, but they show Richard Petty when he's at the race and Michael Jordan more than they show Jimmy Johnson. He's still alive and racing.
They do.
And if that was Dale Earnhardt, you know damn well they'd be showing Dale Earnhardt and talking to Dale. And so I don't know what the deal is. If they're just trying to diminish his accomplishments, I think is what they're trying to do, is just so that because they don't want to put him on that pedestal or someone don't. But I just don't know who in the France family or who or whatever's doing this to just completely act like that man doesn't exist in the way they're treating him.
Say what you want to. Look, I'm not a Johnson fan, and I think that I'd put Petty and Earnhardt above him in terms of all-time racers. But needless to say, you've got to put him in the conversation. He's one of only 3 drivers, and the other 2 are the 2 of the faces of NASCAR. He's one of 3 drivers that's won 7 championships. He's had more success for Hendrick Motorsports than Jeff Gordon did, and you've got to acknowledge that.
I'll tell you one thing. Speaking of that,
he was beating Gordon in his own cars.
Yes,
I can bring y'all a hat that they've made, and it says 7-time champion. It's only got 2 guys on it.
Earnhart and Petty.
Yep. You know.
Apparently, the France family only has that hat too, right, Kevin? That's the only one.
I don't. If there's something going on, I don't understand and get it. But like,
I mean, I'm not
asking him to get an exemption. But if you're giving out exemptions, I've never understood why past winners don't have any type of anything. And I get it. You race to get in, and we've talked about Terry.
Apparently not.
That's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
And you used to, and they reduced the fields. And then now you're giving out a sponsor exemption to someone who's never raced in NASCAR. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
He gets to qualify. So if he does qualify, Terry, he bumps out somebody.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be like that.
So if you're going to get the exemption, you shouldn't be qualifying. And that's what they said. If he does qualify top 40, he will bump someone out. So he's getting a sponsor exemption to bump somebody out. Basically, he's not. I don't see how he does. He's going to beat somebody that wrecks or doesn't do good and finishes top 40. It's just.
Well,
I don't know what they're doing, but it's a disgrace what they're doing.
And I hate it because, to me, don't get me wrong, and I'm like Chip, I never was a Jimmy Johnson fan, but he did everything the right way.
Got to acknowledge it.
You know, he did everything the right way. He went by the rules that NASCAR put out there for him to go by.
Yep.
And he won 7 championships, but nobody wants to put him in the same category as the other 2.
I mean,
when did you ever hear about him doing something stupid?
The only time I ever saw him do anything stupid was when they would have qualified for the chase down here in Charlotte, and him and Martin Truex got in a wreck.
Yeah.
At the end of the race, and then there was turmoil between him and the crew chief.
Well, yeah, I was like him and Canals,
You know,
and they were
and
such
that was
a good
the end
team.
of it. You know,
they were
because
such a good team.
They were telling him like, just finish second, don't worry about winning. But he wanted to win the race.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know. So they went at it there, but, you know, it's amazing to me that NASCAR has not given him the credit that he brought them. Mm-hmm. And I'll put it like that.
And it's not even, you know, Terry, like, he races, 10, 15 races?
Yeah.
So when he's at the track, shouldn't it be a feafer? Like, they'll show Carl Edwards show up. We'll talk to him for an hour and a half. Like, we miss you, Carl, or any other old driver, whatever. They'll talk to them. But Jimmy's out there, and they don't even mention it or show it, even on the radio, the radio broadcast.
It bothers me because even the cars they're giving him, Jimmy Johnson can drive.
Mm-hmm.
These cars they're giving him, he does good if he's the 20th.
Yeah.
I mean, he's driving at the back of the pack.
But it tells you the difference in the cars and what people have. But just the matter of even on the pre-race shows and all that, they're not.
He's like
there's no feature like, hey,
No.
like shouldn't you when you're walking down the pit row, you're talking to the guys. Hey, let's talk to the 7-time champion here. And it's just,
But
this
I
is
think
non-existent.
on the back end of this, and I brought up Mike Wallace, I think Mike Wallace's thing was something about their charter deal where Michael Jordan and his group are going to be able to race. Well, what happened here with Mike Wallace that they can't race?
It's typical NASCAR, making the rules up as they go. I mean, it's like, and Kevin's point about Johnson, I mean, say what you want to, and again, I don't know if, I feel like the chase was tailor made for him when he was winning his championships for him.
I mean, he did what they told him to do.
Exactly right. This is the rules, and he did it better than anybody else a lot.
They changed the cars and rules like 5 times, Chip. How's that tailor made for him?
I know.
They tried to keep him from winning. It wasn't tailor made. They tried to keep him. Every time he won, Tom, they changed the rules in the car. Every time he won. Look, well, guys, how are we going to keep Jimmy from winning? He won 8, 10 races. Let's change this rule. Well, crap, that didn't work. They did it 5 times in a row. Yes, they did.
That's after the fact.
Terry, did they not change the rules and the car? Either the rules or the car was changed.
The COT came after his heyday.
Chip.
It's kind of like tiger proofing Augusta.
Yes, that's what they were doing. That's exactly what they were doing.
We're going to tiger-proof Augusta.
They did it for years. We can't let it know because they didn't want him doing
Last Masters Tiger won. Who was the guy that was ahead of him that he ended up beating?
Oh, the one that cheated, the one that threw it. The one that threw it. Yeah, Molinari.
I'm trying
Chip,
to
did he
figure-
come
wait a
back or
minute.
did Molinari go back to him?
That's right.
Answer that question.
How much money did he get
Tiger
to come
shot
back to him?
What did Tiger shoot on the final round? Final round, what did Tiger shoot?
Guys.
Final round, what did Tiger shoot?
Come on,
Was
Chip.
it even par?
Tell
No,
the truth.
he shot under par.
One under?
I can't remember.
It wasn't 6 under. What was it, Chip? Look at the final round. Tiger won. Molinari came back. Molinari shot like a 92.
I noticed his memory gets a little foggy.
He does.
I'll look it up.
I know Molinari went back to him and he hit 5 balls in the water.
Guarantee there was money involved.
Look at this comeback.
Go back to
They're
Tiger.
both. Hey, wait a minute, Terry. Weren't they both Nike sponsored athletes too?
Y'all are sitting here trying to say that, and I know the professional golfers and they're good. Molinari freaking hit a tree. Do you think? And I'm talking about an overhanging tree branch. You think he could hit that?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're full of it. But you play golf.
Yeah, let's go hit a tree.
Yeah,
I hit trees all the time.
No, I'm not talking about the trunk. I'm talking about an overhanging branch. You think he? I
watched a professional golfer chuck 3 balls in the water.
He didn't put 3 in the water
while beating
12.
Tiger Woods, and they both got Nike on their T-shirts.
God, no conspiracy theory.
It's amazing how things happen, Chip.
No, you will never convince me of that. I'm sorry. Y'all are full of it.
Well, I'll just tell you, I think every sporting event's fixed. So we'll start right there. What year was
he shot a 70. He shot 2 under.
Right.
2 under.
Wasn't a 65 for the win.
You don't always have to shoot 65 for a win. That's why what Nicholas did in 86 is so incredible.
How many was he down going into that Sunday?
Let's see. Third round.
Wasn't it 4?
No. He wasn't down that much. Third round. He's down 2. He was down 2. Yeah.
Going in, but then he fell further behind. Did he not?
No. He never fell. He never fell behind by more than 2. Maybe. Yeah. I can't remember if it's 2 or 3. Let me see. I've got the
that big come from behind 70 he shot. I didn't even break 70.
Maybe the course was difficult for everybody. I didn't see anybody else.
Yeah, Molinari hit 7 balls in the water.
That wasn't the hole you was on, right?
JP, we'll be back in a few minutes, by the way.
Was you the one holding the branch out there?
Hello, Gaston County residents. Nowhere is saying knowledge is power more evident than when it's time to buy or sell your home. For over 25 years, Moss Realty has served the communities of Gaston County. Warren and his team live, work, and play in Gaston County. They know the quality of life this side of the river and offer their personal knowledge of the community. And knowledge is power. Voted best of Gaston year after year after year. Your hometown specialists. Visit them at mossrealty.com or 704-865-5555.
Check out the great deals at Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop in Kings Mountain. Like this week, a 2016 Acura MDX SH all-wheel drive and entertainment package, only $15,495. Also a 2012 Honda Odyssey EX minivan for $12,495 and a 2013 Scion XD 4-door hatchback priced at $84,995. Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop, 522 Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain. Online at oakgroveauto.com. Like them on Facebook, too. It's time to go fishing. Start first with a trip to the great outdoors in Cherryville. They've got it all, from the beginner to the professional. Also surf and saltwater gear. See the level performance rods from 2-time Bassmaster Classic champion Hank Cherry, or the Pulse rods from Shelby's Matt Airy, or the Fitzgerald rods from Brian Thrift Series. Also, get your turtle boxes, knives, and see the new shipment of great outdoor apparel from youth to adult. The Great Outdoors, Highway 150 East in Cherryville, right behind McDonald's. Online at teamgreatoutdoors.com. Never before has the price been better than right now on a new Chevy Silverado truck from Marburger Chevrolet in Shelby. Now you can start the new year off with a new Chevy Silverado for up to 20% off. That's right, 20% off. Looking for a pre-owned vehicle? See the selection at Marburger Chevrolet. Pre-owned vehicles starting at $79.90. For complete details, visit the website at marburgerchevy.net or drop on by. They're located at 200 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. That's Marburger Chevrolet.
Attention John Deere shoppers. James River Equipment's Blue Tag specials are going on now.
Which means huge savings on compact and utility tractors, residential and commercial mowers, Gator utility vehicles, and more. Visit jamesriverequipment.com/Blue Tag for more.
Get up to $2,500 off MSRP on John Deere riding mowers, up to $3,000 off MSRP on John Deere commercial mowers, and up to $10,000 off MSRP on John Deere utility tractors. James River Equipment Company, Highway 180 North, Shelby.
The Start Something New sales event is underway at Abernethy, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Lincolnton. Just announced. Lease a 2024 new Dodge Hornet RT for $278 per month for 24 months. No security deposit required. $39.99 total due at lease signing. Lease payment term has factored in a $6,500 EV incentive provided by the lender. Come in for all the details. All during the Start Something New sales event at Abernethy, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, 1442 East Main Street, Lincolnton.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang.
Hit computer there, Chip.
Oh, yeah.
Here they come.
Come on, Tom, everybody join in. Do it, Tom.
annual Mass on Sunday this time in Ohio.
For the freeze walking too.
Well, beside Dun Dun Dun, do y'all know any of the words to that song?
That's not right.
Terry, you know the fight song?
I know it's a cheer for old Notre Dame. I know that, but
Oh,
I
that
know
was,
they got a lot of people saying it.
do you think we should make that our theme song for the show now?
absolutely.
We sure should.
Absolutely.
Every Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The future, the 2025
You saw what Lou Holtz
national
said.
champion.
The culture of beat Ohio State.
Actually, no. Lou Holtz said, "That culture."
They ran Brian Kelly out of town and because they couldn't win there.
Brian Kelly ran him. He decided to leave. Man, what are you talking about?
The only thing, when you're the team that's supposed to get beat, you do this. You do. This is what you do. The culture's going to be Lou Holtz. Lou Holtz is 88 years old.
He knows all about sports.
Okay.
He's older than you.
My good
You
friend,
don't have the
Will you shut
vocabulary
up?
that
Will
he
you
has.
just shut up and drink your Mountain Dew?
Here's the fan voting on who they're pulling for in America right now.
Hey, West Virginia.
It's just so.
Y'all got West Virginia, Tom.
It's so dumb. It's just so dumb.
I told you they more people pulling for Notre Dame than I've ever seen in my life.
That's the vote right there.
Man,
that's how come they got their own channel.
Based on geotagged fan data.
That's because Ohio State's the
No,
favorite.
you know what you've done? This NIL deal has done this. They
I
get
don't know what
all
you're talking
$20 million. They can go fork out stuff to all kinds of people to come to Notre Dame.
I'm pretty sure Ohio State don't have $20 million in the bank.
Was this the same
They
person?
don't.
Is this the same person that was saying he's against all this, against the transfer portal, against all this?
Correct.
Basically, go and just to get your scholarship's good enough. And now he's bragging on Notre Dame for getting all
But
this.
this is
NIL
what's
money.
going to happen.
But you're just so,
Notre Dame going to win multiples.
You can't get mad at people like Terry because they're so dumb.
No, they're
It's
going to
like-
win multiple championships.
it's
State
like
has no chance.
Getting mad at you is like getting mad at a dog for pissing on a rug. I mean, it's just you can't get mad at it. I mean, it's just a dumb dog. And that's what
Look
you
at
are,
that
man.
screen.
It's
Look
just-
at it.
I'm just
Terry,
I don't care.
Terry,
what
to
that
be fair,
screen
that
says.
screen doesn't say anything about no score, though. You know what
I
I'm saying?
That's who America's pulling for, is what that is.
That's what it is.
We
Notre Dame is America's team.
We
now.
kept getting blown. We kept getting texts blown
Go
up
America.
all week long. I half expected to drive by Terry's house and see white smoke coming out the chimney.
I mean, it's just
He don't know how
it's-
to get to West Lincoln.
It's
Tom
just
don't.
funny. It's just hilarious.
He don't even know
all
where Cat
this.
Square is.
When you're the no, I don't care. It's just it's just when you know that you're probably gonna get beat, you troll. You try to turn it into something else.
That's what you know. Y'all know that.
There's people out there that are saying, Ohio State did it all with transfers. You know, you got guys like Jack Sawyer and JTT and all these guys that have stayed at Ibuka, all these guys that have stayed for years at Ohio State that Ryan Day convinced to come back to Ohio State. And where's the last two Notre Dame quarterbacks come from? Kevin, you know?
No.
You know where they came from? One came from Wake Forest, one came from Duke. So don't try to, Notre Dame, they're just all, no.
Well, so this
No.
is how they had
I
it
mean, it's
figured
just-
up. Lou
it's just
Holtz had
so-
it all figured up. He
it's
says if
They-
Ohio State wins, Notre Dame helped y'all keep y'all's coach.
The Baptist quarterback from Wake
There you
converted
go.
to the Catholic Church, and
And
the
that's-
Methodist quarterback from
I'm
Duke
just-
converted to
So,
the
I
Catholic
mean,
Church.
I'm
This
trying to
is-
figure out which way we're going to go here.
If you are an American football fan worried about what Lou Holtz says, then you're an idiot. I'm just going to tell you. I mean, it's just kind of like Lou Holtz is kind of like you, the rambling, half senile old man in the corner, and you just nod your head and say, "Yeah, Lou, you're right, Lou. Well, whatever. Would you want another cup of hot tea, Lou? We'll get that for you because I like Lou Holtz. Everywhere he went, there was like a mess that he left behind at NC State. So I mean, it's just like don't act like South Carolina.
South Carolina.
I mean, don't act like Lou didn't go places and screw it up and leave too.
He
like
was
people do
doing
today.
what everybody now does. That's what he was doing.
I like Lou, but I'm gonna tell you something about Lou. Lou's full of crap. Okay, I will say this: it's like the reason why Lou keeps trolling Ohio State is remember after last year. Ohio State went to Notre Dame and beat them after they beat them the previous year as well.
Oh, that's right.
Ryan Day gets on there and says, I'm going to tell you what about Lou Holtz. And as soon as he said it, I'm like, Ryan,
Yep.
what are you doing?
I forgot about that
Ryan,
interview.
Ryan,
He
what
did.
are you doing? And then he's like, you could just tell that for whatever reason, an 85-year-old man is pushing your buttons. I'm
Yeah.
like, Ryan Day, this is an 88-year-old man. You just don't. I remember there was an old man, my Chihuahua got out, and it ran him. There's some old man walking up the street.
Oh, God.
You don't get your dog out of the street, I'm going to kick your dog. I'm like, sorry, man, I got it. Anybody going to scream at the old man, you're not going to kick my dog, I'm going to kick you.
You didn't bow up. You didn't bow up on an 88-year-old man.
What happened?
That's what Ryan Day did with Lou Holtz. It's like you don't do that to older people.
Consider the source.
You don't do that, man. You just like, okay, Lou. You know what I said after the game? Hey, Lou, I hope you watch this game, man. Have yourself a tea and and get yourself in bed early tonight. That's what I said. Something like that. I would have made a little snide comment, but you could tell like Ryan Day was angry.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, I remember that interview.
It's like, why are you mad at Lou freaking Holt? I was like, so that's why they're doing it. Yeah. It's like, okay, Ryan Day can be trolled, and you can make him angry.
Yeah.
And angry people make dumb decisions. So is he going to say, we're going to run up the ball up the middle, fullback dive to show you that we're the toughest team in America? If they do, that's what Notre Dame wants. Yeah. Notre Dame does not want Ohio State to run wild.
Yeah.
They want Ohio State to try to play smash mouth football because in that game, Notre Dame can win.
And how has Ohio State won the past 2 games? Spreading the ball around, passing. Yeah, they're.
Texas provides the blueprint, though.
Yeah.
If you look at the Texas game, the Michigan game, don't let them run wild. Look what Tennessee did. We're going to go one-on-one with Jeremiah Smith. That's dumb.
Yeah.
So if you just put your 2 safeties back, it's like, okay, we know that you're a vertical team. We know that you like to get the ball in space to these playmakers. We're going to try to make you run the ball. That's what Notre Dame wants to do. That's how they can win, to turn this into a 13-10 game like Michigan. Right. That's the way they can win. So Ohio State's got to do their best not to listen to all these. You're not tough. You're a flag football team. You just got just want to get to these playmakers in space. Show us you can run the ball. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care if you call us the softest team in college football.
If we have more points than you at the end of the game, we'll be soft all day long.
So I hope they don't fall into all this garbage. All these people that are saying this or that. But you still have to play
the best team out there.
We did.
You have the most talented team.
I'm gonna say that.
And what you forget about is the defense.
But
people forget about the defense.
Can your 22 guys compare to their 22 guys?
What does that even mean?
It means a lot.
I would say
yes.
It does.
You just say, can your guys how? Talent,
it's not the point of
whatever. What are you
I'm
talking
45
about?
guys deep, and my backups are better than yours. I'm asking your starters. Can your 22
I'd
starters
still say their 22 guys are the most talented 22 guys in football.
They are talented, but you're playing a team who thinks there's nobody out here that can beat us now.
Well, what do you think Ohio State's thinking after their 3 wins?
Well,
we
I
got
don't
it
know,
together.
Man. And lost to Michigan.
I'll be honest, Terry. I think the Ohio State's worst enemy is themselves. If their sloppiness and the penalties is what kept Texas in that game in the first. Good defense by Texas, but they had 3 drives in the first half.
It was a good game plan by Texas.
It was,
and it was
but there was sloppiness by Ohio State.
It's a 14-point game, but we all know it wasn't a 14-point game.
Right. So I think Ohio State can be. They could be their own worst enemy if they play a clean game and don't have the stupid penalties and play sloppy. I think Notre Dame's going to have a hard time.
Don't let Notre Dame dictate what you do.
Yeah,
that's what they don't
let Notre Dame have the lead.
Don't let Notre Dame dictate what you do.
Your quarterback, I can't remember who's
Will Howard.
Yeah, Howard. If I'm Day, I'm sitting him down and be like, look, if they go too deep, they have safety. Be patient. He was just itching to get the ball to number 4.
I think something what'll work, and I saw in the second half some crossing routes. Were open against that scheme, and I think that if they're smart, they're gonna look, they're gonna break it down, they're gonna find a way to solve that too high look riddle that gave them some trouble in that Texas game. Yeah. I think they'll be ready. I'm confident. I'm not going to say you're not going to walk on the field and win.
It's a national championship.
It's a national. You're not going to walk on the field and win. And to give some credit to Notre Dame, I think they're well coached. Everybody keeps talking about the Michigan game. Notre Dame had their Armageddon too.
Right.
A loss to Northern Illinois.
Yes.
At home. So both these teams had their Armageddon where everybody else said, including myself, I'm like, man, Tennessee's going to come in here and probably beat us because we're emotionally done.
I picked UT.
Mm-hmm. We're emotionally done. But both coaches found a way to motivate their team and do something great.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ohio State, after 3 good teams, 2 SEC teams.
Yes.
And what has everybody said about Ohio State? You're Kevin's favorite person on TV, Feinbaum. Oh, you can't beat the SEC. We're too good. Da-da-da. Well, they beat 2. I mean, one's a stepchild, Texas, but they beat 2 of them.
Right? Well, y'all have never beat an SEC team in a hypothetical matchup, Tom, so be careful.
Okay, you're right. You're right. So,
They're
undefeated.
Undefeated.
And all these people, if they could just kind of tune out the noise and just play football, they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And
if you score first, you have a chance. If Notre Dame scores first, they're going to make you do
I
things.
totally disagree with that.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
If Notre Dame scores first, that quarterback, all of a sudden, pressure becomes on him. Can he perform?
The only way that
I
becomes
have
a big
seen
issue
him not
is
perform
if
against
Notre
Michigan.
Dame scores first and it's the first score, about 2 minutes remaining in the
think
fourth
of it.
quarter. That's when I would worry.
Against Michigan, he could not perform.
So against, you've got a 22-year-old person who's supposed to be Tom Brady every single game. I mean, it's just dumb.
Well,
It's
I
just
mean, I
dumb.
know that. I'm just saying.
It's just dumb. They've got so many people that can hurt you. It's going to be a tall task for Notre Dame, but I'm not going to say they can't win because they have found ways to win games. And there's a lot of people say, oh, you can't beat Georgia. They're an SEC team. You can't beat them, Oh, you won't beat Penn State, and they did.
Yeah.
So people have been doubting Notre Dame since the beginning. There was a lot of people thought Indiana was going to go in there and beat them. So I'm going to give credit to their coach and their players. They got a local kicker, a kid from Salisbury.
Yes.
So that's been a great story. But hopefully this story has a sad ending.
I've been impressed with Marcus Freeman and what he's done with the team. I forget who it was, and ESPN said I agree with it. They're built differently. They're coming up against a buzzsaw this on Monday. We'll just see. It's going to be an interesting matchup.
Well, it is. And matchups and schemes. I mean, at this point, you better know what you're doing game planning, because a lot of these games come down to
not
coaching.
Pulling for you, Tom.
It doesn't matter.
West Virginia is. West Virginia's pulling for them.
The world's not pulling for you. Michigan's not pulling for you.
You got to understand, Terry, when you're good, people hate you. Notre Dame hasn't been
Ask Jimmy
good.
Johnson. Ask Jimmy Johnson.
What? When you're good, people hate you.
Yeah. When you're good, there's people that love you, but there's people that hate you too, Terry. There's people that hate
You
the
sound
Yankees.
like Dean Smith. That's what Dean Smith used to say.
But it's true.
He had the best talent in the world, but he didn't win many national championships.
What are we talking
Well,
about,
I'm just
Kevin?
saying.
What is? I mean, it's just like. Have you ever been on a plane next to an insane person who just keeps rambling
turn the
around?
air mode
This is
off.
like you watch planes, trains, and automobiles. It's like if that Del Griffith character was like a hillbilly from Lincoln. This would be Terry Reinhardt. I mean, this is what you have. I mean, it's just like, why is this guy? Why does he keep talking? What is he even talking about? That's the way I feel every Saturday morning, Terry. We're talking about football. He starts talking about Dean Smith.
I'm just saying.
And derogatorily, man. Dean Smith.
You might have the best talent in the world, but that don't mean when we hit that field come Monday that your team's going to win.
And I've conceded that.
Yeah.
Understand that.
And I have conceded that. So, I mean, it's just, okay. Well, we'll see what happens. And whether or not they win, I'm wearing an Ohio State shirt to work next Saturday morning. Anyway, I still support I'm not one of those.
You might be surprised what all you see sitting around in your chair come next
Oh, okay. We'll see. We'll see if, they can pull it off. If they pull it off, I'll tip my cap to them and say, hey, y'all won it. But I think no matter what,
you will hate it.
I think no matter what happens, you got to give Ohio State some credit after
yeah,
everybody
I do.
left them for dead and crap talked them and you're sorry, you're terrible, fire your coach, all this stuff. That's why you can't let fans dictate things because nobody's perfect every day. Nobody's going to be perfect every single day, and that's what these idiot fans expect. You think a bunch of 22-year-old kids aren't going to have a bad game?
Well, it's already been explained to you. If
I explained that to you.
If Notre Dame loses, it's on account of we kept your coach his job. That's the bottom line.
If Notre Dame loses this game, Chip, what is everybody going to say? Well, they had a great season.
Right.
That's what they're going to say about Notre Dame. Well, they got to the national championship. Nobody thought they would get there.
Yep.
Great job, Marcus Freeman. Go get them next year. What if Ohio State loses this game? Ryan Day's terrible. He doesn't know what he's doing.
He
can't win the big one.
Needs to go.
That is, I think that's one of the things in this game that Ohio State is supposed to win this game. And if they don't, they're going to catch flack. If Notre Dame
What
doesn't
happens-
win,
what
it's going to
happens
be
to
like
Rondé?
a YMCA day. Good job, son.
Yeah,
you
what
know?
happens to Rondé?
He might go to the Bears. I mean, I would not blame Ryan Day for mic dropping after winning this national championship. And they better hope he doesn't. Because if he wins the national championship, if I was Ryan Day, so you want to threaten my son? You want to threaten my wife? You want to talk about killing me and all this stuff? Here's your national championship.
Peace
See
out.
you later. I would not blame him because the pure hatred of some of the like fringe nutty fans of Ohio State.
Somebody was talking to Saban earlier this week, and they're like, "Do you think he would really, if he wins the national championship, do you think he would leave?" He lost to Michigan this year, and Saban's like, one of the years we won the national championship, we lost to Auburn. Do you think anybody remembers that? No, they remember that I won the national championship.
But the thing about it is Ohio State is a great place, and you can get the talent, and they've got money, and they're set up to win. They can build
Y'all
winners.
do. Y'all
But you've got these nutty, idiot fans. I mean, Will Howard after that Oregon game. I remember I was mad. All right, Will, got to get down soon. We got to get the field goal. Okay, I'm not gonna send him a death threat.
I say hate mail.
I mean, it's so stupid. He's 22.
Well, you're not a real fan, Tom. You need more passion.
I know. It's just crazy. I mean, it's just
You gotta
it's just
care.
like, you know, I cuss. My wife comes out. What are you cussing at? Will Howard doesn't know what he's doing. And then it's over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cheer for him the next game. I mean, it's just like what.
Keep your perspective.
I mean, what is
What are we
wrong?
doing? Yeah.
What is wrong with people?
We got to vote on the best college football stadiums in each state. Each state. You got to guess on North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina would be tougher because you know what it's going to be in Ohio.
I'm gonna say East Carolina.
Wow.
Kid Brewer.
Wow.
Appalachian State's Kid Brewer Stadium, baby.
That's not a bad choice, actually. That's really.
Clemson got South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Notre Dame.
There's no
The
way
swamp.
Appalachian. I like it, but it's not.
Well, give me a better college football stadium in the state.
Raleigh.
Oh my gosh.
That place is horrible.
Well, you're crazy.
It's got my name in it for crying out loud, and I disagree with that.
What the heck?
Horrible. That is the worst. You know what the funny thing is like so many kids go up there and they're like passionate. They love state. And then you ask, how they doing up there? Well, they hate it. I tell you, man, it's just weird, you know.
Yeah.
But I will say this: the kids that go to Carolina, hey, up at Carolina, y'all love it. We love this place. Never want to leave. Want to go to graduate school.
Have some Kool-Aid. There you go.
Whatever, what I don't know what it is because I didn't attend either university.
Right.
But it really does seem like, and I'm not a fan because if Carolina plays a game, I pull against them. I mean that's what. But I will say this: if kids that go to Carolina, you tell them, don't you want to come back? Oh no, I love this place. I want to stay here forever. So something about that place, I will give them credit.
All right, boys. College. While we're in college, how about? And Tom likes to gamble. Tom
Hit a four-teamer. Last. I went 4-0 against the spread in the playoffs.
Terry, the over under in this game was 128.5.
126, huh? Is that what it is in my head?
128.
Well, if you'll notice, Tom,
The shot's been fired.
watch this. With 1.5 seconds left, 128.5 is the over under, and they have 126.
126. They need a three-pointer.
Correct. So they have a big argument about the clock, and they put the clock back on. Something about the clock or whatever it was, and then this happened. I may have got the timing wrong on it, and they're just arguing about the clock now. Oh, there it is. He got like 0.3 of a second back or whatever to shoot it, and he fired from beyond half court 0.5 of a second is what they put back on the clock in a 12-point game with the spread on the line.
And that's just enough time to catch and shoot.
He catches and shoots from over half court, and
Bam.
boom!
Yep.
Oh, he hit it.
The gamblers on that end lost on that right there.
Wow.
Is that the worst bad beat you've ever seen, Bout?
When I went to the Hornets-Cavs game, it was, I can't remember what it was. It was like 220. or 220 and a half. And it was like right at 220. And I needed another basket. 23 seconds left. Just backed it out, dribbled it out. I'm like, what are you doing? Do something. What are you doing?
All right. Did y'all know, or y'all saw this week?
Why do we come in here each week talk about gambling?
Because it's legal.
All right. So Carson Beck.
It's part of sport.
Four-teamer. Hit that four-teamer.
Georgia quarterback Carson Beck transferred to Miami.
He did.
And did we discuss the reasons why? Did we ever do that?
About his girlfriend and all
About
this
money.
good
How
stuff?
about like $5 million, whatever?
Well, he's getting $4 million, or he may be getting 10 at 4 to 10. There's a rumor going around he may be getting extra.
That's not extra. That's double.
Well,
That's
Travis Hunter was talking about it. He's like, "Where's my money at?" If you're concerned, if he's worried about missing Georgia, I don't believe he is. Now, how did he get there? This is interesting. Carson Beck is in Miami because of Caitlin Clark. Are y'all ready for this rabbit hole? There's one of the twins he's dating. I don't know if that's actually the one he's dating, or if they switch up on him like that and confuse him or not.
She does a few sit-ups.
Do you know anything about them, Tom?
I don't keep up with pop culture.
They're college basketball players. She's a college basketball player.
She's only on there because she looks like that. She's probably averaging like 3 points a game.
Well, they're twins, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Now that you're saying, yeah, I know who these girls are, but they're not that good, right? I mean, are they any good? Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah.
They're selling plenty of tickets in Miami right now.
Right. Correct.
They're the LaMelo Balls of the Miami. So anyway, Carson Beck ends up going to Miami, and y'all would say, well, maybe it's because of his girlfriend, right? No. It's Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is the reason. So Clark, while at Iowa, torched Haley Van Lith from LSU in March. And it led to her transferring to TCU, which was going to cut into one of the Cavender twins' playing time. So she transferred back to Miami, which led to Carson going to Miami. So because Caitlin Clark beat a girl at LSU, the girl from LSU transferred to TCU. TCU is just going to take the Cavender twins' playing time at TCU. They went back to Miami, and then Carson Beck, instead of going to TCU, is now in Miami getting paid $4 million with his twin little girlfriend.
So both of them were going to transfer to TCU? Both of them?
It says Haley Cavender's playing time, which led the twins back to Miami. So one of them was going to lose some playing time, apparently. I guess one of them isn't as good as the other one. I'm not sure. And so it led them both back to Miami, is what it says.
Well, I guess get me a ticket to a Miami basketball game in their ACC. I mean, surely they play Clemson or they play Wake Forest or somebody. We can go up and see them. That's what we need to do.
So next time you're watching,
burn a Saturday.
So next time you're watching Carson Beck get paid $4 million to play for Miami football is because Caitlin Clark hit a 3-pointer over some girl from LSU.
I mean,
it's what happened.
It's
really what happened.
I mean, it's a cool story, but do we care?
I do not.
See, y'all suck at life. That's why your kids call you a grumpy old man, Tom.
You know.
I know they call me a grumpy old man. It's okay.
It's like people asking you, man, did you know this happened? I really don't care.
You know what? Well, one of my students.
There's nothing I can do about it. So it happened.
I'm taking I'm taking this TikTok thing. Like I'm kind of doing what Terry tries to do to me. Is like I'm trolling my kids because TikTok is getting banned. And like every day I was like, TikTok, we're one day closer, guys. TikTok banned. So somebody named Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Is trying to buy it. And I try to tell the kids, it's not that they don't have a buyer. Elon Musk could just go out and write a check today.
Yeah, he could.
So the Chinese don't want to sell. Right. So she said, I explained that to her, but she goes, Mr. Beast wants to buy it. And I was like, I got it confused with somebody named Mr. Beat who does all these history videos. I was like, how's that guy? He's from North Carolina. He's got a lot of, it's like, no. Mr. Beast. I was like, who is this person? And my sophomores who said, no, look him up. And he does all these YouTube challenges, evidently, and all this. I was like, this is what's wrong with your brains. It's like you don't study. That's why the Chinese want TikTok. They want you doing TikTok challenges, not geometry problems.
Right.
You know, ask if their kids are looking at this garbage.
It's actually banned over there.
Exactly.
All right, so
Exactly.
we're going to come back in a few minutes after Tom gets done playing on TikTok, but we're going to talk about the blowouts in the week 1 of the NFL, and if the committee should reevaluate and put the Bengals in the playoffs now instead of the Broncos, Chargers, and Steelers. So we're going to talk about that and more in the NFL and call it when we come back on KTCBroadcasting.com.
There's no sporting event in the world like the Daytona 500. The Great American Race tells tales of triumph,
Denny Hamlin has won the Daytona 500.
heartbreak,
Pearson's in trouble. David Pearson is broadside down the backstretch.
and produces some of the most exciting moments in racing.
At the stripe, Kevin Harvick gets it by inches.
What story will be told in 2025?
The Daytona 500 and the NASCAR Cup Series, right here on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
I work my tractors really hard. I give all they've got. I demand as much horsepower as they can possibly give me. I tell you what, I've had these Coyote tractors for probably 10 years now. They've served me well. Been good.
Your Coyote dealer is Weston Sales, Highway 18 North, the 27 West intersection in Vail. Listen up, commercial business owners. Bean Brothers Landscaping of Lincoln can help you prepare for snow removal on your property. Just like insurance for your car or home, your commercial property deserves constant care and protection. Rain or shine, and yes, even snow. Protect your property and get peace of mind with a phone call to Bean Brothers Landscaping. 704-718-4988. Again, 704-718-4988. Visit them online at beanbrotherslandscaping.com. Like them on Facebook, too. Make your New Year's resolution to visit Scooter's Coffee in Cherryville every day. Start your new year off with a new sea salt Caramelicious, or try one of their new blackberry drinks or a new strawberry protein shake. Scooter's Coffee in Cherryville has a great $6 combo, including a large hot or iced coffee with your choice of a sausage or bacon burrito, all for just $6. Scooter's Coffee, Highway 150 East in Cherryville, right in front of Walmart. Open 5:30 to 9 Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 on Saturday and Sunday. Open to wholesalers and the public. We're talking about TLG Sales in Bellwood. Keep warm this winter with heaters, blankets, and socks for those toes. They've just received a new food shipment, including frozen food and candy. TLG Sales in Bellwood has 200cc four-wheelers and a big shipment of fishing equipment, including rods and reels, plus toiletry and paper towels. That's TLG Sales, 5627 Falston Road, Highway 18 North in Bellwood. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and like them on Facebook, too. Now is the time to get your mower serviced and have it ready to roll for the spring. Bring it on into Power Max Motorsports in Lincoln. Or maybe you've been thinking about a new mower. See the line of Toro mowers. There's one for you. And don't forget, they are your Can-Am dealer. Right now, get top dollar for your trade-in. Head in soon now and save at Power Max Motorsports. 3636 East Highway 27 in Iron Station. Call 704-732-8200. Online at PowerMaxMotorsports.com.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin in the game. They're talking about some more sports.
What do you think we're talking about?
I'm going to say football, I'm guessing, because the helmets that are on the screen.
He's guessing because
good guess.
He's been watching.
Thank you.
He's probably been watching. Well, JP, do you have TikTok?
No.
Do you?
In my opinion, I think it's a complete waste of time.
Okay.
Thank you very much, JP.
Wow.
Thank you.
I'm more of a YouTube
buddy.
guy. I got on TikTok once and I was like, what is the big hype about this?
There you go.
Very good, JP.
All right.
I'm on your side, JP. Great job.
Yeah.
So before the season started, and in the past, before they expanded to 14 teams, there used to be 12 teams in the playoffs, and every year 6 teams and that would make the playoffs would miss it the following year. And so for years we've been doing the 6 teams in, 6 teams out. You have to pick teams that didn't make the playoffs the year before. Well, now with 14 teams, it opens a little bit of mediocrity and extra teams in the playoffs, so it's changed the formula. And this year, now we kept the same thing. We did our set. We picked our 7 teams in, 7 teams out because it's half. But this year, guys, 10 teams returned to the playoffs from last year.
Huh.
It's the most ever. So the good news is that that us picking 7 means we had a better chance, actually, right?
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Instead of being picking 7 teams, we had a chance to pick out of 10 teams. So that means we did really well, don't it?
Dallas didn't make it.
So that means we did awesome. All right. So the 2 teams that didn't make the playoffs from the AFC last year are Cleveland and Miami. The 2 teams that didn't make the playoffs from last year in the NFC were the top 2 seeds, San Francisco and Dallas.
Yeah.
So we sit here and we're like, I think they'll make it. There's top 2 seeds. There ain't no way they won't make it. We all picked San Francisco. Tom didn't have Dallas. The rest of us did. No one of our, remember, 10 teams made the playoffs from last year. Okay? Not a single one of us picked Houston, Pittsburgh, Green Bay, or the Rams to return. So we were just reduced to how many you can get from 10 to 6 right there, because not a single one of us picked them. All right. Now, in the teams, let's see, the new teams that did make the playoffs, Terry got Denver. Chip and I and Tom got the Chargers. And I got Washington.
You're the only one who got 2 out of the
Correct. And that's it. Nobody at this table picked the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow.
So the 14 teams that made the playoffs, none of us picked 5 of the teams.
Tune in Saturday.
Make sure y'all turn in next September for our season preview. Houston, Pittsburgh, Green Bay, the Rams, and the Vikings were not picked by any of us to make the playoffs. Now, with that said, how did we do, Terry? The least number of teams that we picked to make the playoffs goes to a tie with Terry and Chip with 5 of the teams. They had 4 returns and 1 new each. Tom and I had 6 teams. We tied for first. He had 5 returners and 1 new team. I had 4 returners and 2 new teams.
So one team differential between all of us, basically.
So Terry got Kansas City, Baltimore, Philadelphia, Detroit, and Denver. He missed. So you got 5, Terry. You missed 9.
I was getting ready to say I wouldn't say all that.
We got 6 right and missed 8. But Terry, I was watching the video, and you had you put Detroit in late, so you got them late. But the bad news is you took Philadelphia out to do it, so you didn't do anything. So you saw that one and didn't finish it up. Tom got Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore, Philadelphia, and Detroit. Missed San Francisco and Cleveland. Chip got Kansas City, Baltimore, Philadelphia, and Detroit. Missed Dallas, Miami, and San Francisco. I got Kansas City, Buffalo. I'm the only one that got Tampa and Baltimore.
You know, when you look at this and you think of what
I got
we
Tampa
did,
and Washington.
I mean, how many games did the Jaguars win?
Not many.
How many games did Cleveland
2 or
win?
3.
That's what
Cleveland
I'm
won
talking
3.
about. I mean, when you start looking at this and you think, how in the world did we miss those that bad?
Well, you thought that, Cleveland with that defense.
Why y'all keep picking Trevor Lawrence? Y'all gonna stop that next year?
Yeah, Jacksonville won 4 games.
He was hurt a lot. He was hurt a
Cleveland
lot
won
this
how
year.
many?
He was hurt
3
a
or
lot.
4?
Do what now?
Cleveland?
Cleveland won 3.
See, how in the world did – I mean, that just shows,
if you don't have a quarterback, you can't win.
We all picked Seattle to make it.
They come close.
We all picked the Jets to make it.
Not even close.
Atlanta come close.
Atlanta came.
We all picked the Bengals, didn't
3
we?
of us. No,
They
3 of
came
us picked the Bengals. 3 of us picked the Falcons, and 3 of us picked the Saints.
Not close.
Cleveland. I mean, Cincinnati was just one of those that get off to a bad start.
Yeah.
I mean, New Orleans came out like gangbusters, man. They were
good first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
I mean,
they fired their coach midway through the season.
Yeah.
So did
I
Chicago.
had them on my picks.
All right, we talked last week about the Texans playing Saturday afternoons every week. Here we go, 4:30 today.
They even dragged the defending champs into that game.
Right, as I say, they are so bad and they hate them so much. They even put Kansas City.
Well, here's the flip side of this.
Into the 4 o'clock.
I
game.
do like the last one.
Here's the flip side of this, though. Giving Kansas City that first game, if they do win, gives them the longest rest out of anybody for next week.
Just insane.
After taking 2 weeks off.
Yeah. But I will say one thing. For y'all Commanders fans, congratulations.
Jalen Daniels
It's their first win since 2005 in the playoffs.
Jalen Daniels is probably one of the most impressive rookie quarterbacks I've seen.
He's good, but I ain't saying I don't expect him to go win it.
I'm not saying he'll win it all,
That's
but
what
he's
I'm saying.
had an impressive.
Don't even listen to him when he starts talking about that. Otani's no good. Michael Jordan's no good.
What?
I mean, just don't.
You
even-
can't.
I ain't said that he's a rookie. Kevin even go with this. A rookie quarterback's not going to go win a Super Bowl.
I didn't say he was going to Super Bowl. I'm just saying what he's done up to now is pretty impressive.
He's probably got to get smoked today.
That's the common denominator between you and Kevin. Like if you say like we think James Daniels pretty good. Oh, Tom says he's winning the Super Bowl. It's like it's not what I said. I said he's pretty good. Okay.
You don't have to worry about me in my NFC pick for the Super Bowl. They lost last week.
Devin Booker and
mine is still in there. Eagles and Bills, both of them are still there.
Devin Booker and Kevin Durant have a Lions Commanders bet this week.
Lions Commanders.
Saturday?
Saturday.
The game Saturday.
The game Saturday. You guys are in Detroit.
Wow.
3 hours later.
I thought it was Sunday. I was going to have to stay an extra day. Even better.
Just go across the street or wherever.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
Okay. Do I anticipate a wager between the two of you and Kevin?
For sure. Whatever he wants to do.
Going to be talked about on the plane, I imagine?
Man, we can talk about it now. You guys get it up from me.
We'll follow up with him after.
Well, the joke was, he didn't say it there. Booker said that if Terry, you like this, if KD loses the bet, which the Lions win, if the Lions win, Durant has to thank Draymond for helping him win some rings.
See? That's right. He should be doing that anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see. Talking about, Tom, one week they love you, the next week they hate you. How about Sam Darnold? This is them last week.
Two, man.
Well, I'm just gonna
pouring champagne on him in the locker room,
Yeah. That's
and
after
then
they
now you're gone,
I'm just saying this, man.
and you're gone.
Some guys can do it. Some guys can do it when it matters in the regular
Yeah,
season.
there you go.
Some guys can do it when it matters in the playoffs.
The only thing that
You know, it's
bothers
just one
me
of
with
those things,
this,
man. It's one of
I
those
think he hurt himself. And I don't mean that in no bad way. I think money-wise, these last couple games for him just hurt him, money-wise.
Just the last game.
And Herbert's the same way.
I
Those
tell you-
3 interceptions all year long, and then those 4 in one game.
Hey, I done told you I take Sam Darnold and 2 third-round picks next year in Cleveland. Hey,
It's going to be better than what you got.
that's what I said. It's way better than what you got. All right, here's a breakdown of actually why Sean Payton, I don't know if you guys saw it. Did y'all see this where the guy ran out of bounds before the yard marker, and everybody thought he was yelling at the running back for running out of bounds, but he's actually yelling at the blocker. Watch this breakdown of this play.
All right, team, at the end of the game, Sean Payton was furious, and we're going to jump into the film to show you why. The Broncos have a great little play called right here where they're going to have the back, they're going to fake to the back, he's going to get into the flat. The receiver who's off the screen, Franklin, okay, you can't see him, but he's going to work in here, and he's supposed to pick, right? He's supposed to rub 39, okay? What happens, though, is he runs right past him, and then 39 is able to fly downhill and make the play. I want you guys to watch it. So we're going to go slow-mo here. You can see the fake. You can see Franklin coming in from off your screen. And he's supposed to make this DB, he's supposed to impede his path where the DB has to go underneath him or over top just to slow him down enough. Instead, he runs right by him, so then the DB is able to have a clear path, catch up to the back, and then makes a big stop, a real game-sealing play for the Buffalo Bills, and that's why Sean Payton was so mad at the end of the Broncos Bills.
Yeah, he came down there screaming at him. I thought he was screaming at the running back for stopping short right there. Like he just ran out of bounds. The marker said trying to
screaming at the tight end
instead of trying to cutting it up the field right there. But no, he's screaming at that blocker.
How Sean Payton is that? He's mad that the guy wouldn't cheat the way he wanted him to cheat. That's Sean Payton.
Everybody rubs.
It's illegal, Chip.
Everybody rubs.
It's within 5 yards too.
I was about to say, how do you enforce that?
It's within 5 yards.
Yeah, if he's grabbing, and now if somebody's egregiously grabbing or blatantly grabbing a guy, but if somebody's running a route and it's a crossing route, how do you enforce that? I mean, it's just
it has been called this year.
Yes, it has, and it should be
So-
because teams have been doing it. It's cheating.
How about
But
this?
what's the difference in rub versus a cross route? I mean, it's just
Get out of the guy's way.
that's not no. Why does he have to get out of his way? Why can't he get out of my way? Because I'm running the route.
It's out of the spirit of the game. You're not supposed to block downfield like that. That's what it is blocking downfield on a pass play. You can't do that.
In last week's games, all the winner and quarterbacks have the letter J in one of their names.
I love Tom's reaction.
Jaden Daniels, C.J. Sproud, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, and John Matthew Stafford.
Oh, that's a stretch.
All
That's a
won.
stretch. Come on.
That's his first name. They all won. If
Nobody knew
last
that.
week you betted on all the J's,
That's the dumbest.
you would have
thing I've
won.
ever heard.
You would have went. Well, you could have went 4-2 because, or no 5-1 because Herbert and
He
Jordan Love.
goes like he talks about how we're dumb, but he goes from breaking down, doing analysis, doing like what we're supposed to do on this show. Like broke down that play. That was beautiful. I love that little bit.
Yeah.
Then he turns and talks about this stuff. It's like, what is he doing?
You should have bet on the Jays.
This guy knew
You've been
this
4-2.
was after
You
the
want to see,
game
you want
is
to see
over.
my parlay?
You've
You
been
want to see my
4-2.
parlay last
Yeah.
week? 4-0 against the spread. $5 paid 65.
Guess who picked the Jays?
Oh, Lordy.
The John Matthew Stafford was a stretch.
I give Tom gambling tips and he loses his mind.
The only way this guy knew that was after the games were over.
I'm over giving beautiful gambling tips.
Two of those games it wouldn't have mattered because there were two other quarterbacks that lost that had J in their names.
How about this, Tom? You want to see some film? This right here is the very first ever under center drop back pass in Jalen Hurts' career that did not feature play action.
Than the average in the league.
That's a Stefanski play.
He's been in the league for 5 years, and he's never done this right here.
Yeah, they just don't.
And
do
it was a first down.
Drop
Maybe try that
3
again.
step. They come back or down the line.
That's
Terry.
right.
That only won
Try
3
that
Super
again.
Bowls in Dallas.
Yeah.
All right. Former quarterback, and talk to me like I'm an idiot. It's not that hard. What's so hard about that? Is it just the offensive schemes now just don't?
They don't teach.
They would just rather the guy be in the shotgun.
Yeah.
if he's
So
gonna do
so
that.
getting a snap is way harder than everyone thinks. Like it's to
you
to
run the
snap
risk of a fumble.
You're
Yeah.
correct. And so a lot of them don't even teach it anymore. They just do shotgun. So like
It's like
Jalen
not
Hurts
teaching
is
cursive anymore.
correct.
Correct.
100% correct.
You are
See,
And you
but-
can't run half your plays like that. So
But
now I'll say this. As far as the snap goes, and one reason it's hard, I've had 4 or 5 centers in my life. Only 2 of them I thought were good. The 3 of them were terrible snappers. Not like blockers, but snappers. Like and there's nothing you could do about it. And like the good ones, and what makes the difference, the good one hits you in the hands every time, and you can immediately make the play. I had one I could put my hands under here, and he would go under my arms and hit me in the chest with it. So I never got it in my hands. He would put it in my belly, snap it into my belly. I don't know how he did that physically, but he would go under my arms and hit me, and I would just catch it like this. So I had to
You had to readjust.
readjust for the ball. So it is, but these are grown men, and he's got big hands.
professionals!
We're not high school. Yes, he should have. It's weird.
See, but
It's like-
one thing though, if you go under center and you do the play action, you do have to take your eye. I'm like you read the defense, then you do the play action. But if you're in the shotgun, I guess the calculus is I don't have my eyes off the defense. Like I don't turn around to do that play action. I mean, somebody like Kevin who's played a little bit more would understand that.
But also,
to
if
me-
you take your head off the ball, that also makes the safety come up.
True. You see,
That's the point of the play
there's
action.
always the game
If you're
with
not
it. Yeah,
looking, the safety's not cut.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
But
If I'm
yeah,
like this,
but-
safety's
but-
backing up.
But Kevin, then I have to turn my eyes back.
But I
guess you have like
The only thing I'm worried about when I turn around is that defensive end didn't get blocked.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
The only thing I'm worried
exactly
about.
right.
Please somebody block you.
I get the strategy, but
Yeah.
these are
Yeah.
professionals. know how to do both. It's like John Lester knows to throw the ball to first.
How about
But it happens. But see, with me, it's just like everything's happening so fast.
Trivia question.
You may want the eyes.
Because
on
Terry's got to
time.
leave here in a minute. We got to get through it. Trivia question.
Try not to look.
Who's the only quarterback in Broncos history to be drafted by the team and win their first playoff game?
Drafted by the team.
Win a playoff game, not first
Tim
playoff.
Tebow.
A playoff
Tim
game.
Tebow.
Osweiler. Oh, Tebow. Yeah, that's
Tim
probably
Tebow.
it. Yeah, that's probably it.
That's
He beat Pittsburgh. Yeah.
He's the only quarterback in Broncos history.
Got it.
To win a playoff game and was drafted by the team.
The stat that stood out to me, he was when I forget what. Did he play with the Jets at one point? Was he with the Jets at one point?
Who?
Maybe.
Tebow.
I got this for Terry before he goes.
I'll have to find. There's a.
He went to Jacksonville to try to be a tight end.
Okay.
Well, that's
I
what
think
he was
he
told
did go to the
could
Jets.
be.
He did. No, he
But
went to
he
the
wa-
Eagles and
he
didn't
did
make
not
the team.
wanna be
He went to
a
the
tight
Eagles.
end.
Yeah,
No.
he went to the Eagles and didn't make the team.
All right,
Yeah.
Terry. It's time for your comments.
Comes out, you know this is going to land in your lap, right? When we were in Dallas this year for a couple of games, look, the topic has always been out there about Jerry and Mike and what might happen, and now they've chosen to go in their separate ways. I don't think Mike will be out of a job for too long, but this job's as coveted as any because you're going to run the Dallas Cowboys. In what direction do you think they ought to look?
Well, I thought Mike McCarthy would be the head coach, so this is a bit of a surprise for me today that he's not going to be. And what went into those conversations that Schefter talked about, I'm not exactly sure, but it suggests that there's not a real plan. I mean, and the fact that they haven't had the opportunity to maybe interview a Ben Johnson and some of these others, Aaron Glenn. I think that what Schefter said as far as Kellen Moore being a candidate, that seems logical to me. A guy who has familiarity with the building. He's worked obviously with the Cowboys and with Jerry Jones, and they know each other very well. In fact, when Mike McCarthy got the job, it was told to Mike that Kellen Moore would be the offensive coordinator. So that's how much the Jones family thinks of him. Beyond that, it's hard to imagine. As far as a coveted job, I don't know that that's accurate. I mean,
Really?
I do think the Cowboys are obviously a high-profile team. Whoever is covered or whoever is head coach of that team is certainly going to draw a lot of attention. But I think most football people that take over as a head coach, they want to do it on their terms.
That's
and
fair.
That's hard to do. And it's, if you take a Dan Campbell, for instance, is Dan Campbell if he's with the Dallas Cowboys? It's hard to imagine that he is. It's hard to imagine that a lot of these coaches might be. So I love the Dallas Cowboys. I played there for 12 years. I wish them well. But to say that it's a coveted job, I'm not sure I would necessarily agree with that.
Maybe
That's an indictment
No,
by
I
one
agree.
of your legacy.
I agree.
And Jerry said yesterday he'll be running the team till he dies. So he did confirm that one.
Same thing I said to Terry, who wants the job.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not saying like me personally. I'm saying like if I had the ability to do the job, I would not want to go there and deal with a meddling owner.
Yeah.
I mean, just don't want to
Who's
do that.
bordering on senility.
The Kellen Moore thing is blows my mind because they fired him as offensive coordinator, and then
that's Mike McCarthy because he wanted to do the play call.
well, let me finish.
Yeah.
But he's been 23rd and 29th in offense the 2
Yeah.
years he was fired. So he didn't like go and do well as far as like his offense. So I don't know what the thoughts on that or where they're going with
I
that.
don't like the Dion deal. I think that brings spunk to the team, more aggressiveness just from him being there and how he wants to play and what he's wanting out of you. But I don't know whether that's where we need to go.
It's a Dabo move. It's flashy, but
you
is
don't
he
need
going
Kellen
to?
Moore because Dak threw more interceptions when Kellen was there. He didn't keep him under control. You had to throw in some tight passes.
I kept asking you this for the past few weeks, and you kept giving the answer. I think that Jerry just doesn't seem to be aware of. Who you gonna find that's better than what you got? And I mean,
Who wants to go there?
Yeah, and that's-
not only
I
like,
agree.
Not only like this guy's better, so I'm just going to get him. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It's voluntary exchange. Somebody has to agree to come to Dallas.
if
and
if
I just-
Belichick hadn't signed with Carolina,
but he's interviewed for pro jobs. Has
That's
he not?
what I'm saying.
Did I
He-
not read that somewhere that he's interviewed for pro jobs, or am I just?
No, they haven't.
Okay, they have. He hasn't done that, but there's nothing. I think he's got like a clause where he could do that, right? He could
The
still do it.
buyout supposedly is June 1st, $1 million.
Right, something
But
like
there's
that.
also there's also coming out that he hasn't officially signed his contract, so he does actually he can
Yeah, I
actually
knew
do
something
whatever
like
he
okay.
wants.
I mean, think of all the things, though. I mean, Belichick would never work in Dallas because he's going to want to dictate what's happening.
He's a control freak.
It's not
Gruden would never work in Dallas.
It's not going to work as long as he's
That's what-
there,
you
Terry.
know?
What? Watch out. Be careful. That's actually, I don't know if I agree with that because it might be his only way back in.
Who's that?
Gruden.
I don't think he would command
don't think he
respect in
would
the locker
neither.
room after some of the things he said.
I
mean, it would be hard. People say things that they shouldn't say and regret it.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's just hard, man. It's just like, I don't know about this guy. What's he really saying about me? And you know, like you said earlier, Terry, it's about culture. It's about getting along. It's about trust. And if you don't have that in your leader, man,
I think it's the
tough.
hardest place to go for Dallas, and it scares me because I don't know what we're going to go at. Mike McCarthy was a Jerry Jones guy. I'm going to do whatever you tell me to do, and that's how we're going to work here. Then all of a sudden you decide you don't need me. Where do you go? Kellen Moore, I don't think worked, but Kellen Moore is a guy, like you said, even he said, Jerry Jones likes. You know, and he was fired because Mike McCarthy wanted to do the play calling. He wanted to get rid of him. I can cut Dak's interceptions by a ton, and he did. So do you bring back a guy where Dak's going to throw more interceptions?
I think Deion would be successful. The problem is, and nobody ever
have a DC.
Nobody ever thinks about this, is that what happens on the breakup with Deion? Everybody gets fired. So when you go to fire Deion Sanders, primetime face of the franchise at some point, twice he was the face of the franchise at some point, you think he's going to be quiet about everything?
Yeah,
You think he's not going down in a ball of flames? You don't think he's going to blow up everything? You not think that it'll be the biggest story ever? And I'm just saying, if once it goes bad, when it does go bad with Deion, it goes bad for every coach at some point. That what happens then is that how would they move on from that? Because if it doesn't work with Deion, and Jerry's still alive and running it, who's signing there ever?
If they bring in Deion,
Nobody.
I think Deion will be the coach until Jerry passes.
Michael Irvin's come out and said he likes Deion. I mean, you know, so I just don't know. I mean, he
let's pick the games.
I don't know.
Chiefs and Texans, 4:30. 8.5 point favorites are the Chiefs, Tommy.
In my parlay, I have the Chiefs covering. I was 4-0 last week. If anybody's listening, any compulsive gamblers out there, Tom was 4-0.
I was too, Tom.
Against the spread. ATS.
Tom,
baby.
I was too, Tom.
No, you weren't.
Yeah,
Hey,
I was.
look out for those Jays. Patrick Mahomes is not one.
last week.
CJ Stroud.
He can't gamble because all his
Does that
extra
roll over
money,
every
all
week
his
to
extra
week?
money, all his extra money is going to his truck payment. That's why he can't gamble.
All right. I'm going to bet against the Jays this week. Chip, Texans and Chiefs.
I picked the Chiefs to go all the way again. I better pick them to win this game. This game scares me, but I'm going to pick the Chiefs.
Moving down for the Chiefs, Terry.
I got the Chiefs also, so we're all Chiefs all the way across.
Commanders at Lions. NFL should be embarrassed. Either one of these franchises in an NFC Championship game, especially Cowboys fans, should be embarrassed about that. Chip, who you got?
Why should they embarrass with the Lions?
Because the Lions have been the embarrassment of the NFL for 150 years.
Not this year.
Well, watch them when they.
I think this game will be better than people expect, but I'm on with Detroit.
I think Detroit rolls. I think it's there. They'll cover that spread. I think these things land with a thud with rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Just like or old man quarterbacks like
Just
Joe
like Joe
Flacco.
Flacco.
Like all these Cinderella stories end with a thud. I think
They're
this one
awesome
ends
until
with-
they're not.
This one ends with a thud too. The Lions cover the spread.
I'm taking Lions also.
Give me Detroit in this one.
All the way across the board.
Sunday. Rams and Eagles in Philadelphia. 6.5 point favorites are the Eagles at home. Chip.
I'm gonna say the Rams are inspired. They're playing for folks. They're playing for their area. So I'm gonna go with the upset, Los Angeles.
Terry.
No, Eagles will win. Their defense is too strong.
Tommy.
I think the Eagles win, but it's close. I think the Rams cover that 6.5.
I put the Eagles in the playoffs last week. The more I think about this, though, only one team in the NFC's got a quarterback I trust and a coach that's won a Super Bowl, and it's the L.A. Rams.
John Matthew Stafford.
I believe I'm going to take John Stafford to win this game.
Or the Jays.
And he's going to get his revenge on Detroit next week again.
Oh, that would make a great NFC
in
Championship
Detroit.
game.
And then he's going to go to the Super Bowl and get beat by Kansas City. But I'm changing my thoughts on that one after thinking about it. But all right, Tom, who you got?
I said the Rams.
Okay,
would cover.
sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
You took the Rams?
You said Rams?
No, he said Rams would cover. He's got the
Rams
Eagles.
will cover. I've got the Eagles. I think they're going to cover the spread.
He's picking. He's picking the Eagles to win.
That's what I'm saying. Man, just pick what we want you to pick. Who cares about the spread right now?
Are you in charge?
Baltimore, a 1.5 point favorite over Buffalo.
This is the best game of the postseason right here.
The MVP playoff. Golly. Who will be the champ after the game? 41 touchdowns, 4 picks for Lamar on the season. Helps when you got Derrick Henry back there. Cowboys didn't even want to talk to him. Said he wasn't good enough. 1,900 yards, 16 touchdowns.
Who wants to tackle Derrick Henry when it's 17
That's what
degrees?
I'm saying.
Right.
Nobody.
It's kind of funny. My mom, who watches, she's a Mahomes fan, but I think she doesn't know the rest of the NFL exists. She goes, "This Derrick Henry, he's like trying to tackle a truck." Yes,
yes. He is. That's a very good analysis. She should work for ESPN. That's a great analysis.
Correct, Mom. It is. It is.
Who you got, Tom? Ravens and Bills?
I think the Bills at home. I think they get it done, even though the Ravens are red hot.
Yeah.
I mean, they looked good last week, but home field advantage. They're a slight favorite in this game. I think that surprised people, but Bills got you in the money line. Bills money line.
Bills.
I like the Ravens. I think you just talked about Derrick Henry's an X factor, and I think he helps Lamar Jackson not feel like he has to do it all himself. I got the Ravens.
17 degrees in Buffalo. I believe I want to stay with the Bills on that one.
And I'll still be perfect if this all happens again.
All right, guys. We'll be back in a few minutes. Talk NBA and more. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Here come the Blue Devils.
Spins on Shevlin, took the contact. Counted! How about a three? Big time! Steps through. Oh! A reverse pull-up! And he throws it down. Fades away and says goodnight.
We have you covered all season long for the excitement of Blue Devil basketball.
A dominant win at home.
Duke basketball on Carolina Country WCSL and the Boss WOHS.
Get a steal of a deal on a new steel from Boyd's Tire and Appliance on Main Street in Clover. For over 74 years, Boyd's Tire and Appliance has been serving this area with the finest in steel chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, and more. Gas and battery-powered tools, plus John Deere and Gravely zero-turn mowers, along with appliances, tires, and yes, a great supply of John Deere toys. That's Boyd's Tire and Appliance, 110 North Main Street in Clover, online at BoydTireandAppliance.com, and see their page at What'sUpShopper.com.
Get the Ford Power Promise at Tyndall Ford Roush in Gastonia. You get the electric vehicle promise from day one. Get a free complimentary Ford home charger with standard installation and 24/7 live support. And for Superpower, remember Tyndall Ford Roush is the world's premier Roush dealer, selling more than anyone since 2015. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years. Tyndall Ford Roush, 1901 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia, online at TyndallFord.com. With over 30 years of experience, they do it all at Zooks Auto Repair and Performance in Lincoln. They promise that you'll be completely satisfied with their work, from an oil change to brakes to tires to a North Carolina State inspection. And now they have 4 licensed North Carolina State inspectors, so you don't have to wait. And they now offer notary service too. That's Zooks Auto Repair and Performance, 1122 South Aspen Street in Lincoln. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, 8 to 12 on Saturdays for inspections. Online at ZooksAutoRepair.com. Tired of living with pain? Sure you are. Now it's a great time to see Pro Wellness Family Chiropractic in Lincoln about shockwave therapy. It's a non-invasive treatment that stimulates the body's natural healing process. It can help regenerate nerve tissue. Shockwave therapy can help with injured tendons, ligaments, and other soft tissue. Find out more. See Pro Wellness Family Chiropractic, 644 Clark Drive in Lincoln. Online at ProWellnessNC.com. Like them on Facebook too.
Get pre-qualified for financing online at Eric Johnson Auto Sales in Cherryville. Just go to ericjohnsonautosales.com and get started. Check out a 2015 Ford Explorer for only $7,400. Also a 2014 Kia Sorento with only 61,000 miles at $10,900. A a 2011 Jeep Wrangler self-priced at $12,900, and a 2018 BMX 5 Series with only 87,000 miles for $18,500. At Eric Johnson Auto Sales, 3629 Trying Courthouse Road, right outside of Cherryville, open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturday.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin the Gang. Terry has left us, so Tom's happy. And looks like they might be talking about basketball.
Everybody, let's see. For the folks on the radio, I know you guys can't see it, but I'm showing a spacing here of a game where, if you look at the stats, you'll see that the 7'5" center had 23 rebounds in this game, 0 offensively. Tom,
I guess that makes sense where he is right there.
so like if you're not watching, and you're on the radio or obviously can't see it, but I've got it up on YouTube. Wimbiana is standing 28 feet from the basket here, guarded by a small forward. And just talking about the past, the game today and how they play in the NBA, Jokic is the greatest player of their generation, is standing over in the corner guarding a logo. Like, he's nowhere near a player. He's not even near anyone. He's not even looking at the other 7-footer on the floor. He's looking across the court at the 3-point line. I saw a video of the other day of a youth basketball game where they shot 10 straight threes. Like, just jump back threes.
They're just copying what they see.
Right.
That's a shame too.
And so, like, if you got a 7-5, think of all the putbacks and the scores that Wimbiana doesn't get, and the way they changed, it would put pressure on the defense. And they talk about big men in the past, and they're talking about, they look at Jokic's numbers, and they're like, no one's ever done the things he's doing. And then I bring this up and be like, explain to me where David Robinson and Akeem Olajuwon would be on that floor guarding Jokic, or vice versa. Not 25 feet away while they're standing at the 3-point line. There is no comparison, and to call Jokic a center or Wemby a center, because there are no centers in this game right now. The way they play,
tall guys that shoot threes.
That's
fast.
it.
Yeah,
that's it, Tom. And there is no post game, so that's why. And I sit there, and me and Terry, a few years, and I've said for years, as soon as someone ever does any type of post game in the NBA, they're going to destroy the league. And Jokic has. He's doing it from the top, but he's doing it for 3-pointers too. Yeah. So, like, it's just wild that, like, it's just not even basketball at all. Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know if I want to go to a somewhere and play a pickup game, because I'm scared that this is what it would be. And it's just the whole. And it's not like. It's okay for Steph to shoot threes when you're open, or Clay, but all 5 of you don't have to.
Yeah, I know.
Like, that's the thing.
The product's just boring. The product's just boring.
The ratings are down. Yeah. I mean, it's just not as good as it used to be. I mean, that's why I really have enjoyed, like, watching some of the Cavaliers games and their ball movement, but they still shoot a ton of threes. But you don't even see, like, a lot of times it's just that one guy dribbling, 5 guys standing around, maybe one pass and they shoot a 3-pointer. I mean, it's just.
LaMelo Ball has taken 53 one-legged 3-pointers this year.
Why?
Trey and Tom Tom can vouch for me if you've ever been to a Hornets game while he's been there and watch his pregame warm-ups. He don't enter the 3-point line. I've seen him shoot a couple free throws here and there. He'll walk up, shoot a couple, but he stands out there, and his warm-up routine is talking to people and dribbling outside the 3-point line. Then he just turns around and fires up whatever mood he's in, and hardly looks at the goal. I'm not saying he don't hit these shots, but, like, as a coach in basketball, you look at it and you're like, if you're his teammate, do you even hustle at all? Because, like, that's the thing I've talked with Terry and you guys about, is, like, when the point guard shoots like that, you're not like, man, I'm gonna go down here and hustle, and because I'm not gonna get the ball unless he bricks it by 40 feet, which he does, which he might. But 53 one-legged 3-pointers. Well, he'll be the all-star point guard for the what? Do they call it the East now, or whatever team we are?
And you touched on it a few weeks ago, Kevin. It's like ESPN will show the 1 or 2 that he actually pulls off one of those crazy one-on-one plays.
Look at this.
But how many? What about the 17 others where he bobbles the ball or dribbles it off his foot or turns it over? Or?
He was 40% on one leg.
Like I said, he was hitting them. So here's a stat. Like when we talk about winning basketball, and so the LeBron fans and people try to tell the difference. When you ask people who's the best power forward, they don't say Karl Malone, and that's what I try to say when LeBron was passing him. When you look at the stats, Malone is over Tim Duncan on everything. I will personally say I'm not a fan of either one of these fellas. I think Tim Duncan is overrated. I think Karl Malone was a little underrated, but I just don't like him. But just looking at those, like if you look at the kids today, will look at him, hey, that guy's way better than that. But the other guy's got 5 rings and that one's got none. So.
You make that comparison against anybody whose heyday was in the 90s, it's just not a fair comparison because of Jordan. It's just not. I mean, it's it compares like Tom Watson gave Phil Mickelson a hard time. It's like you never ranked number one never ranked in the world number one player in the world ever during your career. And Phil just had a simple comeback. He's like, well, most of my prime was when Tiger Woods was playing. I mean, you can't make that comparison.
Tom, you see something shocking on there?
New York wins tiebreaker 3-1.
No, it's not the shocking thing on there.
The Hornets have a winning record.
There you go.
14.5 back.
Wow.
54 wins. This is the year Jordan came back. The year this is the year Chicago won 72 games. Or 70 games. What is it, 70 and 12?
This is his first full year back.
Yeah.
When
This is the 96 season.
Yeah.
And I guess the last time we had a successful basketball team. But 54 wins, the 5 seed in the East for the Charlotte Hornets right there.
54 wins and you're 14.5 games out.
Behind Michael Jordan.
That's crazy.
I thought he was going to say the tiebreaker 3-1. He's like, I'm glad to see it settled on the court.
No.
I thought that's where you
I
were
saw the
going
Hornets. Were actually good at one point, believe it or not, folks.
Seemed like they were good in 93 too.
They're good in the 90s.
They had more than double the wins of their losses.
Whenever Larry Johnson was there, it was good. All right, we talked about this in the with the golf, the LIV. Rumors are swirling now. You're talking about NBA ratings being down, and I mentioned there's leagues popping up, big threes there and there, and LeBron's about to retire. And is he going to spend that money on an NBA team, or like I said he might do, he might create his own league? And now the rumors are more than rumors. Maverick Carter, his money man, is seeking to raise $5 billion from capital sources to start an international basketball league to rival the NBA.
So you spent your 20-some years in a league that was good to you. You're going to go out and start a league to try to put out the NBA.
Try to destroy it. So no one else could be ever greater than him.
Right. Yeah. That's great. Let him go do it. I mean, like, people have tried this. The USFL. We're going to go to Sundays and challenge the NFL. Where are they now? We're going to with the Vince McMahon started his football league. How'd that end up? I mean, yeah.
But again, Tom, like with LIV, you get someone with deep pockets that don't care about losing the money.
Right.
Like you get investors that want to make money is different than someone that has money to just spend to get the attention. Like the basketball thing to me, he gets 10. What if he gets 10 stars?
Yeah.
He goes to the NBA. They go to the NBA and they pay 10 of the guys, whatever they're making now, the 40 million. We'll give you all of you 75. We'll give you all 100.
And I don't know.
And then now all of a sudden, all the other guys are coming too.
If you're going to, and forgive me for doing golf later, but using LIV as a blueprint, you just need the funds to have a little bit of staying power, get the name notoriety. They've had a coup. They've had a huge win for them this week because they signed a TV deal with Fox. That is not getting the publicity that it should get because that is huge for LIV in terms of actually helping their ratings in the United States.
I don't think you could do this in football and baseball because the numbers of people you need involved. But in basketball, you get 5, 6, 7, 8 stars signed on to this. We all know international basketball is up to the level now. So you get 5, 10 guys from America, some big names. Some of the guys, I don't know, because what they'd probably do, I'm guessing, hey, Steph, no more championships in the NBA. Come make $50 million over here.
Yeah, you're gonna have to double.
So from 40 to 45-year-olds, it could be like the senior league at first, and then maybe work some other guys in. I'm not sure.
You've got to at least double the payment because I mean Liv basically pulled those guys with the money, and you're gonna have to do the same thing. If you're making 35 something, I mean you're gonna have to double that. You're gonna have to give like $100 million a year.
Cavs in first.
Yeah,
way ahead of those Celtics, right, Tom?
Yeah. I mean, they had a bad night, and you guys have been watching NBA. I suppose you can't listen to Terry. Like Terry's an 82-game season, so he'll cherry pick one game where you had a bad night.
They've lost as many games as the Wizards have won this year. They've lost 6 games.
I mean, they had a bad night against a good team on the road. And you know how I'm sorry, like sometimes you get crazy comebacks. And sometimes these NBA players, teams, they get down 20-25. They're like,
just mail it in.
Just it's okay. There'll be another game. There's 82 of these things.
Right.
So I think that becomes a mentality sometimes. And, just to say Cleveland's going to win a championship, I think they're balanced. They have more than one guy that can score. If you look at they've always got 3, 4, 5 guys in double figures, it seems like every single night. So they're still formidable, but I'm telling you, this Oklahoma City team is really good, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're really good. They're going to be tough to beat in a 7-game series.
They're balanced. They're well-rounded.
So it's just like when I showed Terry, all right, you say we got beat. Let's pull up Boston's score. Okay, you guys got beat. I can't remember. It was somewhere around 20 points. It's like, okay, similar result. So how does this translate into y'all are going to beat us? But it's just like he's like Lou Holtz. He's trying to troll you like Lou Holtz. I mean, he's like Lou Holtz's playbook for trolling. It just doesn't even make sense. I mean, it's either one of those teams, Boston or Cleveland, is going to have a hard time beating whoever wins the West. And Kevin makes that point all the time. The West just seems to be, a little bit better at the top than the East.
Yep.
Right now, anyway.
It was and so the game was a little bit closer. The Celtic game was actually a little bit closer. They lost, not. It was still,
but it's so much
13 points. 13.
It's so much that you can't just automatically say, well, based on this result and that result,
right? You don't know. I mean, how was Oklahoma City? How was OKC playing that night versus how was Boston versus how was Cleveland playing? Again,
it's like, how do you match up that night? Who's healthy? I mean, like you look at college football, it's like Indiana disposed of Michigan, but then Michigan comes in and beats Ohio State.
Right.
When Ohio State, beat it. How does that happen? Well, I mean, what's the particular matchup? What's that particular day? Any given day, right?
That's why they play the games.
That's why, going back, everybody expects like Ohio State to walk on the field and beat Notre Dame. They're same thing. You're not just going to walk on the court and beat the Thunder right now.
Right.
I mean, it's just one of those things where you're going to have a good night, and Oklahoma City's not going to walk on the court and just beat everybody. I mean, any given night, somebody can beat you. You can have an off night. And that's what happened to Cleveland the other night. I still got a lot of faith in them making a deep playoff run. It is going to be hard to beat Boston. They've got good players in there and their experience.
I wanted to ask Kevin this, and I'm sure he's probably aware of this, but I just wanted to make sure. So, SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, great player for OKC right now. You know who drafted him, right?
Yeah, we did.
You know who we traded for him? Who we traded?
Was that Gordon Hayward?
No, worse. Your favorite player,
Miles Bridges.
Yes. Just to put a cherry on top of the whole irony of this thing.
So stupid.
Yeah, I know.
Oklahoma City has 4 possible first-round picks next year. 1, 2 in 2026. 1, 2 in 2027. 1 in 28. 1 in 29. And they're where they are right now.
Is Chet Holmgren even playing
They're all
right
like
now?
22, 20. No, he's not playing.
Isn't he hurt?
Yeah, he's supposed to come back, I think.
I mean,
so out west, they're in first, 34-7.
Without one of their best players.
Houston's in second. Jalen Green got into it with Russell Westbrook the other night. You see that?
Mm-mm.
Westbrook swiped at him for a foul as he went up, and Jalen come over and told him, don't do that. And Westbrook looked at the bench. Adoke is the coach. Westbrook looked over and told him, he said, why is he talking to me like I'm a kid? He said, he used to be on my AAU team. Why is this kid? He said, why are you talking to me like that? But Memphis is third, Denver fourth, Clippers fifth, Kawhi's back and running, Lakers sixth, Mavericks, Timberwolves, Kings, and Phoenix. Timberwolves make a mistake getting rid of Cat for Randall, I believe. Cat was soft, but I don't think Randall tries too much. And so I don't think Anthony's having too much fun with him. Right now, the Warriors are out of the playoffs at 20 and 20, and so is Wembayana and Zion Williamson supposed to be the future of the league. I guess they'll be doing good in the LIB.
Yeah, in the new play. Anytime I think of Zion, I think of Barkley and Shaq's comments about him when he was rehabbing a couple years ago. It's like, looks like Shaq and me had a baby together. It's like, golly, that's bad. So, but no, we. I was trying to think of what I saw a post on Facebook. I think last night, maybe.
There you go.
Oh my, yeah.
Melo's taking more shots per minute since Wilt Chamberlain. Golly, 1965.
He does shoot a lot.
Yeah. But
he shoots a lot and spends a lot of time at the tattoo parlor.
I saw a post last night. It had the top 10 point guards all time, and they had Rajon Rondo on there, and did not have Bob Cousy. And I'm like, no, you can't. No, you just can't. If he,
they did.
Yeah. I'm like, come on now, you're killing me.
If it happened before 2000, it didn't happen, Chip.
That's right. That's
It,
right.
it did not. It did not happen.
Well, they did have they had Oscar Robertson on there. To be fair,
where did they have him?
I think they had Magic 1, Steph 2, Oscar 3, Isaiah 4, and it gets murky. I just the last one was Rajon Rondo, and I kept looking for Bob Cousy, and Cousy wasn't anywhere. I was like, golly.
Well, Melo is fourth in the league in scoring. He is attempting 24 shots a game, the most in the NBA.
Yep.
For perspective, let's go over to Michael and see the most he ever shot in a season. That would be the most he ever shot. He averaged 23.
Be early in his
he
career.
shot 27 the year he averaged 37.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. You averaged
So
almost 40.
The year he averaged. So LaMelo, the point guard, is taking 3 more shots than the next closest guy in the NBA. I'm just like, yes, please shoot more times than Michael Jordan shot, please.
Hypothetically.
Please. Nobody else in the NBA is. They're all at least under Jordan's run.
Kevin, LaMelo's more talented than Michael Jordan.
No,
Don't you know that?
Bigger, faster,
He's
stronger.
averaging 13 threes a game.
He likes to
Attempts.
shoot.
13 3 attempts
Hypothetical.
a game.
If we could, if
You know who's second on that list? Brandon Miller.
You got 2 Charlotte guys. Come on.
And we're like 4 and 50. Well, I wonder what's wrong.
Yeah. If we could find a good ball handler or a good true like traditional 1, would LaMelo be a good 2?
No, he is a 2. He
shouldn't
be.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be in charge of an offense.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought.
He shouldn't be in charge of an offense. He should be doing what his brother was doing, running around. I don't know, doing something else. But no, he should not be in charge of the offense, especially if he wants to shoot 24 times.
Right.
Like it's the whole, like I said, dribble up and pull up your shot without passing to your teammates thing that just totally ruins any type of vibe. He's 4th in the NBA in turnovers behind James Harden, Cade Cunningham, and Trae Young. Trae Young is the only person in the NBA averaging 10 assists a game at 11.9, 2 more than the closest, which is Jokic at 9.9.
Wow.
9. Best 3-point shooter in the NBA, 7-footers, Domantas Sabonis and Nikolai Jokic.
Huh.
Then Kennard, Tarian Prince, Zach Levine, Norman Powell, and Karl Anthony Towns. So
Wemby's nowhere close to the top, is he?
no,
He'll get there.
They're taking all the guards out of there. Karis LeVert is the closest Cav at 14 there, Tom, at 3-point percentage. But y'all ain't really worried about that. Y'all can just keep winning.
Yeah.
All right. Any other NBA news and notes, Tommy? Chip?
No, let's get there. We're about, we're the halfway point.
So when is the
Halfway
All-Star
point.
game?
Pretty soon. Yeah, I think it's
February.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty
sometime.
soon.
All right. We'll be back in a minute. KDCBroadcasting.com.
For 5 years, Final Plunge Plumbing has won the prestigious Community Choice Award for Gaston County. Final Plunge Plumbing is a full-service plumbing company offering water and sewer main repairs, water heater replacement, and repairs with names like Rheem, State Select, Renai, and Navian. And they provide upfront pricing, so there's no surprise when you get your bill. First-time customers receive a 10% discount up to $500. Choose the best and take the plunge with Final Plunge Plumbing. Call 704-860-5889 or find them online at finalplunge.com. For your next vehicle, shop a dealer you can trust. That's Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop. They bring out the best in price and quality. This week, take a look at a 2016 Acura MDX all-wheel drive for $15,495. Or how about a 2012 Honda Odyssey EX, automatic 5-speed with front-wheel drive, priced at $12,495. And a 2013 Scion XD, 131,000 miles, priced at $84,995. Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop, 522 Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain, online at oakgroveauto.com.
Don't be left out in the cold. Head to This and That Trading Post in Dallas for antifreeze, just $5.50 a gallon. Also, jumper cables are as low as $5.50. Insulated 40-ounce insulated Stanley cups in a variety of colors are $25. This and That Trading Post has 5 different flavors of vapes for $8. Facial massagers are $17.50. 6-sheet crosscut shredders are $15.25. Tommy Bahama pillows are $8.25. Dog Pops, 3 for just 50 cents. And there are employment opportunities at This and That Trading Post, 3857 Dallas High Shoals Road in Dallas, right across from the trade lot.
Now you can see what's going on by calling Heath Jackson Plumbing in Cherryville. Ask about the rigid camera system. You, the customer, can actually see what's going on with your sewage drain lines and what's got to be done. And be sure to ask about their tankless water heaters, serviced or installed. Call 704-634-5784 for Heath Jackson Plumbing in Cherryville. Like them on Facebook, too.
Hey, I'm Cody Martin. Here, Charlotte Hornets basketball on Carolina Country. WCSL 92.9 FM and 1590 AM. And online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
The Lincoln Country Club has been challenging golfers since 1946 with tree-lined fairways, ponds, creeks, and sand bunkers. Select from 4 sets of tees to play from. Give them a call at 704-735-1382. Again, 704-735-1382. The Lincoln Country Club, 2052 Country Club Road in Lincoln. Visit their website at golflcc.com.
I work my tractors really hard. I get all they've got. I demand as much horsepower as they can possibly give me. I tell you what, I've had these Coyote tractors for probably 10 years now. They've served me well. Been good.
Your Coyote dealer is Weston Sales, Highway 18 North at 27 West intersection in Vail. Speed Queen, Speed Queen, and Speed Queen. We just named the top 3 manufacturers of washers and dryers. It's all Speed Queen. And they're waiting for you at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center in Shelby. Top load and front load models to choose from. And just arrived, a big new shipment of Frigidaire, scratch and dented washers, dryers, refrigerators, freezers, and more. Don't wait. Come on in now to Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. On the right going down, on the left coming up.
For all of your printing needs, see Modern Printing of Cherryville. Get your full-color business cards at Modern Printing of Cherryville, along with your full-color brochures. Get multicolor letterhead and multicolor envelopes. Just call 704-435-6112 or email at modern_printing@ymail.com. Modern Printing, located 902 East Main Street, Cherryville. Open Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. That's Modern Printing of Cherryville.
Get up to $3,000 off select Polaris off-road vehicles at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell, or get financing as low as 1.99% APR for 36 months. But that's not all. Get up to $1,500 bonus bucks on new Honda Pioneer, Prowler, Talon models, and rev up the new year with the new Slingshot. Get $1,000 customer cash or financing as low as 1.99% for 36 months with no money down at Full Throttle Power Sports. 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Piedmont Lithium, supplying the demand for American energy security from North Carolina. Piedmont Lithium is helping power a robust U.S. battery supply chain for the electrification revolution, charging ahead to support North Carolina manufacturing and American energy independence. Piedmont Lithium, proudly calling Cherryville home to the proposed Carolina Lithium project. Visit them on Main Street in Cherryville or at carolina-lithium.com.
Justin Allgaier is the 2024 NASCAR Xfinity Series champion.
Congratulations to Justin Allgaier and Junior Motorsports on winning the 2024 NASCAR Xfinity Series championship.
This race team just never gave up, never quit. I can't say thank you enough to all of them. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. You know, my daughter paints a helmet. We put a lucky horseshoe on it this year for my grandfather, and it worked out.
Join us for NASCAR racing in 2025 on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang.
All right, welcome back to the show. This is a highlight of Cleveland Browns' future number 2 draft pick, Travis Hunter. And I think every scout in the NFL just messed himself. Check it out. He's at a high school game. He's celebrating. There's Travis Hunter.
Oh, my God. Jesus.
Oh, wow.
When did this happen?
Just the other day.
Oh, my God.
There's the number 2 draft pick in the NFL, hundreds of millions of dollars.
What is he
Almost
doing?
just went down the drain.
Oh, man, just telling you, man, you better be careful, dude. Hope you got insurance policy there.
Whoop.
It's one, yeah, that is dangerous. Just a local basketball.
The other player got hurt, it looks like.
Yeah, I know. Just wanted to give a couple local basketball scores. That Crest defeats South Point 69-63 last night. That was on WHS. And Burns defeats East Gaston 89-58. And next week on WHS, we will have Shelby at Burns, confirmed by Calvin. On WHS, we will have Shelby at East Rutherford. Chip, do you know the WCSL schedule?
Let's see who Cherryville's playing next Friday. They played Piedmont Community Charter this past last night. Brian Free and I did the broadcast, and Piedmont Community turned out with the win, 83-37, I believe. And then Cherryville they host East Gaston this coming Tuesday. And then Friday, they will host, looks like Thomas Jefferson will be Friday.
Yeah, that'll be well, when you watch Thomas Jefferson, I'm going to tell you, they passed the eye test. They're going to roll out that 6'9" kid.
Yeah.
So you're going to see, they got some cats over there, man. They got some big old kids, but
Piedmont Community had some height last night.
Tuesday, we got North Carolina Wake Forest on WCSL and WHS. Wednesday, we'll have Shelby at East Rutherford on WHS. And then Friday, Jefferson at Cherryville and Shelby at Burns. Of course, we'll see you next Saturday. Monday night, national championship picks. Anybody picking Notre Dame?
Terry.
The one guy who did is not here anymore.
Terry.
But it's a low risk, high reward pick because if they lose, what's he going to say?
Right.
Well, y'all supposed to win. Y'all better. But if Notre Dame wins, yeah, I'll get trolled all week. But that's okay.
I want the Irish to win, but I think Ohio State's the most talented team, and if they don't shoot themselves in the foot, they'll pull out the win.
Which is a possibility. I'm just telling you, man. You get on that big stage, it's easy to let the wheels come off. So let's hopefully they've got it together mentally. Block out the noise.
Yeah.
That's what I just tell them. Block out Lou Holtz. Yeah. When you're no, seriously, when you're the weaker team, when you're the weaker player, Draymond Green. What does Draymond Green do? Watch him play. Yeah. Why does he do all the stuff he does? Because he's not as good as the other players.
Getting in their head.
So he wants to get in your head. That's what they want to do. So I just tell Ryan Day and everybody, just block out the noise. Don't worry about some 88-year-old man saying you're not tough. You're fine. Just go out there and play your game. You should win.
If you're at home, check out the TV this week. One time I did check out for the first time this past week the TGL, that new virtual golf they got on ESPN. It was actually fairly it was fairly entertaining. It was nice to see the guys, the players mic'd up, actually get to see some of their personalities and kind of cutting up. So that TGL, I think it's on Tuesday nights. Tiger did his first event this past Tuesday, and I'm not sure who's playing this Tuesday. But
I want to say, and I know this will be sacrilegious for some people, but I can't stand the simulator stuff.
Not a fan of it?
No.
It's supposed to be the most accurate, and it's the largest simulator screen in the world.
You can tell me whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you liked it during racing, Kevin. Back during COVID when they wouldn't let them race. You like
it was interesting.
No, okay, all right. Well, so why?
No. I'm saying like, well, I can't go drive a race car, Tom. But like hitting a real golf ball on real grass. I know they've got the little grass mats.
The whole green.
I see what you're
like,
saying. Okay.
Here's my thing. How does that net? I mean, how does that screen? When I hit a golf shot and I play my draw, the last 5-10 feet of that drop, it snaps down. Like, how does that screen differentiate and that just fall down to be able to know that thing? And then there's things on greens or imperfections that when you do hit a green, they're either hard or soft, they bounce, whatever. But you're playing a video game and it's just like, well, it's going to land on the green. Like, well, in real life, it may have landed on the green, then it spun down the hill and went that way or bounced this way. There's just so many variables, like the wind pushing it before the shot, during the middle of a shot, all that stuff. Like, so the whole simulator screen, and you can't tell me that if I go in this golf shop and I'm hitting these balls in the screen, they don't have them jacked up 10, 15 yards to sell them to me and everything.
Absolutely, I would agree with that.
So like, until I see my ball, the final flight of my ball, because Chip, a lot of it is follow through. Yeah. And your ball's going to go which way you follow through with that club head. So like, I just don't know if I like that. Just slam it into a screen and it just telling me what happened. Like even at Top Golf, the balls are dead, and you still don't hit them as good as you can. And so there's just something, I don't know, to the simulator stuff. It's just I get it for the people that aren't. Yeah. They're just like, hey, I want to go hit some golf balls. The people that would go to Challenger 3 back in the day and stuff like that. I get for those type of fans, they're going to make a lot of money. I get it. It's just not for me.
The artificial green complex is crazy to me because they've got it like on a hydraulic system, so they can change the undulation of the green.
I'd be interested looking at that and see.
And they're struggling with the sand that they've got in the bunkers. Like Tiger chunked one, left it in the bunker Tuesday night, and Kevin Kistner. You should pull up the list.
I saw the highlight of him skunking one off the pin.
And he's on Tiger's team with Max Homa, and they all just lost it. It was like Tiger's like, I didn't think we were going to endanger any of the fans at this thing, but it was pretty entertaining to see their personalities.
This week, Bradley Beal was benched, and he is just not doing well with it. He's quoting scripture and talking about how hard it is to deal with it and all this other stuff. And he said something. I'm looking for the exact words, but it kind of embarrassed me is what he said. As far as like the way he put it, like how could you be his teammate after it and be on a bench is the way he put, like had the feeling of coming off the bench saying he's like a nobody or something like that and all that. And I'm just like, you have teammates, bro. Yeah. But that's how someone that's how someone that doesn't care about their teammates reacts when they're quoting scripture after getting benched. Like I'm dealing with it. So, all right. Any other news and notes, guys, before we get out of here and we have a good Saturday for everybody?
Go Bucks.
Enjoy your weekends, whatever you do. Be safe out there. Hope everybody has a good time. And well wishes to everyone, all our viewers, listeners, and everything out there. See you next week. KDCBroadcasting.com.